Buy local, spend local. Those words mean something to us here in East Central Minnesota. Nice 95.5 is owned by a Minnesota company, Q Media Group. Yep, we're local too. If you're considering radio or digital advertising, we'd love to help you buy local and spend local. Advertising made for Minnesota, made in Minnesota. Connect with Nice 95.5 to spread your message. Info at q-mediagroup.com. The following is a presentation of KBEK Sports, local sports.
Past the 25, to the 20, to the 15, he's going to high step into the end zone, touchdown!
Here, wide receivers split each side.
He's still going into the end zone.
East Central Minnesota, the action starts now. To bring you the call, here's Ethan Game Day Gilman.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome inside U.S. Bank Stadium, the home of the Minnesota Vikings for tonight's Class 4A state semifinal football game between the Hutchinson Tigers and your North Branch Vikings. I'm Ethan Game Day Gilman here, broadcasting live from U.S. Bank Stadium, and joining me right next to me is Adam Hefty. First of all, Adam, how are you tonight?
I'm doing awesome. This is a beautiful stadium. This is actually my first time being here.
Well, welcome.
Yeah. No, it's gorgeous here. We're getting treated to a Class 5A semifinal right now and having a good time doing it.
We are certainly, and this game has gone long. We got here at about 3 o'clock, and we walked in the doors. This game was not even done with the first quarter as we walked inside the doors. But this one is just about to end, so if you're waiting, the North Branch Hutchinson game, it is coming your way here in about a half hour or so. We've just now got a timeout here at this Class 5A semifinal game between St. Thomas and Alexandria. St. Thomas leading 42-23. Interesting about this game, though. We came in, Alexandria was up 23-0.
Yeah, and not only were they up 23-0, but they were just dominating at every point of this ball game. But really, St. Thomas Academy has taken on, even at the in that second quarter, they really took on Alexandria, found stuff that was successful, and really took over.
They really did, and so far so good for St. Thomas here from the second quarter on. And when we're looking at tonight's game, it's going to be North Branch and Hutchinson, as we mentioned, the Class 4A state semifinal. But taking a look at the game in which they'll be playing here tonight, they do not quite yet, or they do, know who they would face in that championship game, and that would be someone they faced off against last year. If you remember North Branch last year, they beat Cloquet at their home stadium to get to the state tournament. They played in Blaine against Ricori. That was a close game, a game in which if you're a North Branch fan, you feel like North Branch probably should have won that game, but Ricori beat them in that game last year, and now Ricori beat Byron in their state semifinal 7-0.
Big, high-scoring offensive affair.
Yes. A bunch of points put up on the board. You couldn't blink. But if you're a North Branch fan, you know and you recognize Ricori, and you say, we want that rematch. And what a rematch it would be in the state championship game.
It really would be. I have yet to see North Branch this year, but I did see them play Mora last year. And, yeah, it was a fun team to watch. They do a really good job running the football. It's really impressive. So it'll be interesting to see if they make it that far and get a rematch against Ricori.
It really will be. Of course, we've got more coming your way here pregame-wise. Our game right now is being pushed back as we speak. Minute by minute that we go on, it is continuing to be pushed back. I know that 4:30 start, I think I made a post on our Facebook page that said an estimated start of about 5:30. Let's push it to 6. We might we might get lucky if we get a 6 p.m. kickoff.
Alexandria did just run out of timeout, so.
All right, so we could be on our way to ending this one, barring injury. Of course, we never want to see that. But this game should be getting started here. I'd again say about 6 o'clock kickoff or close to that. So if you know anyone who's been thinking about tuning in, has sat there and waited, tell them, hey, tune in right now. It is starting or about to start. They have started the pregame. So We will take a commercial break, hear word from our fine sponsors, and then we'll hear that pregame interview with head coach Justin Voss of the North Branch Vikings. Then we'll come back, talk a little bit more pregame, and then after that we should be set for kickoff here inside beautiful U.S. Bank Stadium, the home of the Minnesota Vikings, which is going to be host to tonight's Class 4A state semifinal between the Hutchinson Tigers and your North Branch Vikings. I'm Ethan Game Day Gilman. Joining alongside me is Adam Hefty, back after a word from our fine sponsors. You're listening to State Football from U.S. Bank Stadium on Nice 95.5 KBEK.
Hinkley Towing.
Hi, I'm on the side of the highway with a flat. Can you help me?
On the way.
Hinkley Towing?
Yep. How can we help?
We just had an accident and don't know where to bring the vehicle.
No sweat. We'll come out now and bring you back to our collision center.
Hinkley Towing. Experienced drivers, state-of-the-art trucks, and 24/7 service. For Hinkley Towing, call 320-385-4049 anytime. Hinkley Towing, 320-385-4049 anytime.
Dale's Heating and Appliance, your local heating and appliance expert, is committed to making your family's comfort their top priority. And now you can add water softeners to their list of expertise. Dale's now offers water softener sales or rentals along with installation, service, and salt delivery. So if your home needs quality water, make the call to your already trusted experts at Dale's, or just visit dalesheatingandappliance.com. dalesheatingandappliance.com.
We're now joined by the North Branch football head coach, Justin Voss. First of all, Coach, talk about that game last week against Benilde St. Margaret's. Of course, you guys were able to get on the board first with an 80-plus yard touchdown run that turned into an 8-0 lead. Talk about how important you felt like that opening touchdown was for your team.
Yeah, I think anytime a team can have a big play or a big drive to start the game, that obviously puts momentum into that team's pocket there. And I think for us to have that big start like we did, that gave us just that, a lot of momentum. And I think it also, it just, your confidence grows. You say, okay, we can compete with this team. We can move the ball, some of those pieces. So I think that was a big play for us to start off with. It certainly helped our confidence, and I think it just put momentum in our side.
The team that you faced ran a little bit more of a spread, no huddle. How do you feel like your defense did in that game? Trying to not only, there's something to say about keeping up with a no huddle offense like that, but how quickly they moved down the field.
Yeah, that's a new offense we're not used to seeing. Our district doesn't have a lot of that spread. We have some spread, not quite the same style. So I think there's a kind of a learning curve for players and for coaches, myself included. In that no huddle, it's hard to signal in place the defense when they're going a little more of a faster pace. So it's kind of a learning curve there, but I think overall our defense did pretty well. You know, they have their big plays, and we knew that going into Benilde's a really strong offense. They're going to get their big plays, and they did. They have great receivers and a really, really talented quarterback, so they had their big plays there. I thought, though, what was key for us in defense is there's moments where we had to have big stops or big plays on our side, and I think we did that. I think of a couple fourth downs where we had a 4th and 2, we stopped them. That was a big stop there, and a 4th and 9, we stopped them. And those two really, I think, were important stops for us, and it kind of showed how we played defense a little bit. It showed that when we needed big stops, our defense stepped up, and led by our guys on the field there, and they understand the importance of that, and they got that big stop. So I think defensively, yeah, they had probably a few too many big plays. I would say we should kind of limit a few of those. With that said, when we needed a big stop, our defense came through, which is awesome.
And speaking of those big stops there in that first half that you just mentioned, those were big because then your team was able to go up by multiple scores. In fact, 30-30 or 30-13, excuse me. But at the end of the half, there was a little bit of controversy where they scored. But I gotta imagine that with a team scoring like that at the end of a half with no time left on the board, that's got to creep into the guys' mind a little bit going into halftime. What was the message to them going forward?
Yeah, I think when you score at the end, that momentum kind of shifts a little bit. Now it's kind of in Benilde's favor, in their favor, and that's okay. That's the ups and downs of a game. There's no doubt momentum goes back and forth. I think for our guys that coming out of that half, it was make sure we focus back in on our task at hand. That was to get back to the game plan we had, offense and defense, and make sure we're doing our best to execute that. It also is this. Our guys all year long have faced adversity, and I think I talked about this a little bit with you earlier, but we've had a good record. We have a good record, and we're very thankful for that. But we've had some adversity with injuries and some of those pieces, just as all teams go through. And each time we've had that, our guys have almost responded back stronger and grown stronger because of that. And I think that same thing happened there. We had the tough end of that half and even a tough start to the second half. And our guys kept focused. They came back stronger and came together as a football family and kept working. And that's why I think we were able to kind of withstand that push that Benilde had at the end of the first half and into that start of the second half and come on top. So really proud of how our guys stayed together, came strong as a football family, and kept on working together, which is awesome.
And speaking of that start to the second half, you mentioned it. Benilde went down pretty quickly and scored and made it a really close game. But talk about that offense's ability at just to, first of all, go on a nice long drive, take off a bunch of time off the clock, and eventually get onto the scoreboard again, but also the physicality up front to just keep running the ball. I think it was over 60 times you guys ran the ball in the game total. Just talk about that, the running back's ability to continue to run the ball, but that offensive line as well. They had a tough job all night. Yeah,
we're fortunate, we think, with our offense that we can move the ball in chunks at times, but really we like our ability to move the ball in long drives, long sustained drives. Now, those are tough to do. You have to have good discipline, so we can't have penalties. We have to make sure we're getting that 3-4 yards each time. And obviously, turnovers are big, too. We can't turn the ball over. Our guys did a pretty good job of that. And our offense, all year long, when we need those big drives, and I think even after those, like a scoring drive by opposing team, our guys have a positive mindset, and they come into that next drive, okay, this has to be an important one for us. And I think all year long we responded with these long, sustaining drives. Our offense did a great job after that score in the second half that Benilde started with, to have a nice, long, sitting drive. It kind of focused us back in, calmed us a little bit, and we moved the ball down the field, and I think we ended up scoring on that one, which was obviously a big score for us because Benilde put it really close in that game. So very proud of our offense for being able to maintain those long drives and stay focused and disciplined all the way through. It's just great that we have the ability to do that and kind of use some of that clock as well. As far as the people on our offense, our running backs are obviously extremely important. Their fakes they give, their blocking they give is an extremely important aspect that they have within our system. More importantly, and we tell our guys this, and it's no surprise, our offensive line holds the key to our success. If our offensive line is doing well, then so is our backs. It's just how it works. And we talk about that with our offensive linemen and our team in general because it's important they know that. And it's kind of a lot of pressure on offensive line to make sure they're putting forth their best effort and make sure they're doing their part to keep those drives going. But they relish that responsibility. They do a great job, and we grind at practice and to make sure that they're prepared. And obviously some teams teams give us fits sometimes. That happens. But we love how our guys work on the offensive line, and they're a big reason why we can move the ball so successfully versus Benilde. And Benilde's a tough defense. They have a tough defense line. Very proud of our offensive line, how well they work together to make sure we can continue to move that ball consistently.
You talked about pressure, and I got to imagine there was a ton of pressure on both sides of the ball, but specifically the defense to try and keep Benilde off the scoreboard once again, especially as the game drew on later and later and deeper into the fourth quarter. There was a lot of pressure on that defense, and they seemed to welcome it, and not only welcome it, but they stepped up and put pressure on Benilde, and eventually it worked out in your favor, getting the victory.
Yeah, I think you're right. As the game goes along, we have to have a stop at a certain point here defensively to make sure that we're not going to trade scores back and forth and kind of put ourselves in advantage to win the football game. And I think defensively, and I think this is true for all year long, we've had big stops. And our defense is not perfect, certainly. We have tendencies to give up some big plays every once in a while. And that was true versus Benilde. I do think, though, that when we need a big stop, our defense has done that for us this year, and we saw it versus Benilde. And I really credit to our senior leaders out there. Those guys are leading us out there, and we're not. They didn't get rattled. They didn't lose their focus. They, like I said, and I'll say it again. They almost respond back stronger. Like, here's our moment. We have to have this stop here, and you see this extra grit, this extra effort, this extra want to. And it's so fun to see it on the field as a coach, to watch those guys take that next step, to that next level, because they understand the importance and gravity of that play or that series. And I think our defense did a great job in those moments, capturing that opportunity and getting big stops versus Benilde when we really needed them.
And looking at this week, you head down to U.S. Bank Stadium to take on Hutchinson. What is one thing, or maybe a couple things, that you're looking at, that you're focusing on each side of the ball versus Hutchinson?
Yeah, Hutchinson's a great football program. They have been for many, many years, and they continue to be that way. They're well coached. They're very disciplined. They do football the right way. They're as far as their offense, they're very run heavy. They're very big and physical up front. So defensively, our thoughts go into is making sure that our pad level as a defense line is low, and we're being aggressive. We have to make sure that we're the first to initiate contact, not the opposite, and making sure that we have guys getting really solid reads on their run plays, and we can fly there fast. We have to play fast. Hutchinson is a big physical team up front on the offense. If we're going to be hesitant, they're going to get us. So we have to really, we really focus on getting good, solid reads and playing fast football. And I think if we can do that, we can put ourselves in some good spots. But we know it's going to be a grinder. It's going to be a grind in the trenches versus Hutchinson. It always is versus the teams they play. And our job is to make sure we play fast and put ourselves in good spots to take away some of their top plays. And then offensively, they're a disciplined defense. They are well coached, and they know their responsibilities. They hold true to them relentlessly. And we're going to see the same thing versus us. They're going to hold true to what their responsibilities are when they're trying to stop the power T, and then be big up front. So really, again, same thing with our offensive line. You have to have low paddle. You have to be fast. So that piece has been a big focus for us is that low paddle, fast off the ball. That communication piece is important too, making sure as the offense line we're communicating who we're going to and when we need those double teams to happen. So that's been a point of emphasis. And for our running backs, we've really talked about the gaps you're going to have for your running lanes are be very, very small, very, very narrow. And that's okay. We have to be comfortable with that. We have to know that even though it may not look like it's there, you have to hit that play in that area because it's going to open up for us. So just getting us used to that, those sort of pieces are really important. But I think this game overall, it comes down to the trenches. We're both running football teams, and if you're a running football team, you have to win the trenches, and we are, and so is Hutchinson. So it's really be a battle in the trenches. I think they have size advantage, certainly, and that's okay. I think we're going to do our best to make sure we do those little things right with our pad level, with being fast off the ball to put ourselves in advantage to be successful versus Manila, whether it be offense or defense.
Looking at the Hutchinson team, they are run heavy, but they have shown the ability to pass. So talk about the responsibilities that now your defensive backs have to not only play the run and defend the run, but also have to step back and take a look and worry about the pass at times.
Yeah, exactly. We want to put our D-backs in a good spot where they can get a good read so they can help support that run because they're our heavy run team. And with that said, Hutchinson is able to get big plays in their passing game because people focus so much on that run. So let's be very aware of that. We think we have some things in place. Hopefully that'll put us in our defensive backs in good spots where they can get a good read and they can then play off that read. So all week long we practice that and rep that, and obviously as you get down to the game, some of those butterflies set in, and they don't always work out as you hope. But we're very confident our defensive back group that they can put themselves in good spots to be successful. And along with that, when they're passing the ball, it's important that our defensive line linebackers, if linebackers are blitzing, that they bring pressure. We don't want to rely solely on our D-back stopping that pass. It's a team effort. So defensive line and linebackers, when the opportunity comes up and there's a pass, we need them getting in there and making that quarterback make a quick decision, and that'll put us in or help our defensive backs out as well. So, yeah, the D-backs have a big responsibility. They kind of got a double duty here. We got to be run and we got to be pass, and got to be sharp with both of them, and we're confident our guys can do that.
And you talked about the nerves. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of nerves playing at U.S. Bank Stadium, but what is something that you wanna see from this team, both sides of the ball, right away, to maybe get those nerves out of the way? Is it a long drive? Is it that one spark play? Or what are you just hoping to see from this team on those first few drives to get those nerves kind of out of the way?
Yeah, I think it comes down to just playing North Branch football. I think when we're playing North Branch football, our guys are comfortable and they're confident. I love that. If you're comfortable with what you're doing, you're confident, things are going to go well. So, yeah, we go to the bank, which is a really unique opportunity, and we're so thankful to be in this opportunity to play at the bank, and what a great memory this will be for us. But we're going on there with opportunity to play good football and put ourselves in a good spot to be successful versus a really tough Hutchinson team. So I think what that means for us is playing North Branch football. Offensively, we know what that is, that those long, sustaining drives. It'd be great to have one of those to start the game off. We're feeling good about where we're going. We're moving the ball consistently. And I think defensively, too, we know that it's not going to be a lot of 3-and-outs. It just doesn't work that way when you have really tough running teams. You're going to get 3-4 yards each time. So I think for defense, it's making sure that we put them in long long sustaining drives, and at a certain point we bend, don't break. And that's got to be our mindset. There's got to be opportunities where if they get down the sticks a little bit, where it's a second and long or a third and long, those are opportunities to really capitalize and take advantage of that and don't allow that first down to happen so we can kind of stop their drive.
Looking at the team, obviously, there are going to be bumps and bruises, especially at this point in the season for every team. But for the most part, is this team pretty healthy? I know we saw some guys have to go to the sideline a couple times last week, but how's the team's health?
Yeah, overall, we're okay. I think, like you talked about, every team's going through the bumps and bruises. We're no different. So we have a few guys getting some rehab this week and getting better and healthier and practicing with what they can. And so we're excited for the guys we have out there, and there might be some new guys in different spots. But what I loved about our football family this year, and I think it's holds true for past years as well, is if somebody's not able to play for an injury reason, it's next guy up, and we believe in that next person, whoever that is. If it's a second string or a third string or whatever string it is, that next person jumps in and they have a responsibility and a job duty, and our job is to make sure they're ready to rock and roll with that responsibility. And then it's our job of our players to make sure they're believing in those guys. They're building them up positively so they believe in themselves. So our guys do a great job, and a great job all year of doing that. And if we have to have that happen for Hutchinson, we're excited about putting those other guys in, and we're confident that the guys around them will support them and positively build them up so they're in a good spot.
Well, Coach, that is it from me. Is there anything else that you wanted to add?
No, I'll just say this last piece, and I think I've said it before, but I want to echo because I think it's really important. The high school sports are so exciting. It's a great time. There's such an energy to it and such a passion and pride to it, and I just love that about it. And what's been so fun for this last 2 weeks here in North Branch is seeing the incredible community support and pride that we have. It highlights it even more when you kind of advance those higher stages of playoffs like state, and we're just very thankful and very proud to be part of a community that is so supportive and so passionate about our student athletes, and such a great school district that supports them. So we're thankful for that and very proud to be part of North Branch. So we're thankful for that opportunity to be down the bank and to show that school pride off.
Well, Coach, thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to do this interview. It's greatly appreciated, and of course, want to wish you the best of luck.
Awesome. Thanks for the coverage. We appreciate it.
Thanks again to head coach Justin Voss for doing that interview. It is greatly appreciated. We'll now send it to a word from our fine sponsors. Then after the break, we'll get more of the pregame here on KBEK from US Bank Stadium in this Class 4A state semifinal.
Kettle River Pizza loves supporting all the local teams. And if your team is interested in fundraising, well, they've got you covered. Kettle River Pizza has years of experience in fundraising for local teams, organizations, and clubs, and they would like to help you too. With their experience and the fact that Kettle River Pizza is an easy sell, your fundraiser is bound to be a great success. Visit Kettle River Pizza online and click on their fundraising tab. Kettle River Pizza, a winner every time. Grab a few at your local convenience or grocery store for after the game.
More customers, more name recognition, more employees, more market share. If you'd like a little more for your business, it's time to start digital advertising. Did you know that the average person spends 4.5 hours per day on their smartphone? It's time for you to start reaching them. Streaming TV, SEO or SEM, display ads, and email marketing. If your business could use a little more, contact us now and we can help. info@q-mediagroup.com.
And welcome back inside US Bank Stadium. I am Ethan Game Day Gilman, joined alongside by Adam Hefty here at US Bank Stadium. Kickoff is just about 14. Well, actually, I think they'll add 5 more minutes, so it'll be about 20 more minutes away. That Kettle River Pizza Here, let's try that again. Kettle River Pizza kickoff coming your way shortly here on Nice 95.5 FM KBEK. First of all, I want to thank again head coach Justin Voss for doing that interview. Get some great insight every time him and I have a conversation. Greatly appreciate him doing that. And I want to thank all of you who tuned in here tonight and are bound to tune in. Also want to thank all of our fine sponsors who chose to sponsor this and every other broadcast, as well as Adam Hefty for joining me here tonight. And Adam, just looking at this atmosphere, it is unlike anything other that these kids will have possibly in their football careers, but just to be here, I got to imagine nerves are going to play a big factor, at least to begin the game.
Yeah, you really got to – you have to get the game started, maybe get hit once or twice and really knock those nerves out of you, because once that happens, it's just another game.
It really is after that point, and I think a lot of times we can see that happen, but for North Branch, you heard in that interview last week, they did a very good job against Benilde St. Margaret. Usually this power T offense is not built for going down and scoring in a hurry. That's just not what the power T is meant. But for North Branch, that's what they did last week. They scored quickly against Benilde St. Margaret's. On their first drive, they actually fumbled the kickoff return, able to recover it and pick up maybe a yard. But then they went one play and went 82 yards in about 12 seconds. So for North Branch, I don't think in the power T it's necessarily about starting quickly. And if I'm North Branch, maybe you would disagree, but if I'm North Branch, for me, I think I actually want to go down, take about 10, 12 plays on a drive and try and get in the end zone, but if not, at least switch field position heavily in your favor.
When you have an offense like that, it's more about consistency and also keeping your defense rested. It's a really big way to do things. Also, it shortens the game. Less possessions, but North Branch, a very good offensive team in their own right, so I don't want to say they want to get into a shootout, but if it did get to that, if they don't get too far behind, their running game should be enough to keep them in this game.
It really should, and speaking of that stat-wise, we'll take a look at some of these stats. You see the yards per game coming across your screen. Offensively, it leans in North Branch's favor, close to 400 yards of offense per game to Hutchinson's 352. Points per game even still favors the North Branch Vikings with 37 compared to the Tigers' 30. And I talked about it. I've watched this team for a good chunk of the year. Thankfully, I have, and I'm so happy to have been able to. But technically, it's 37.5 points per game. Got to give them that credit for that extra half point. But that's fourth in all of Class 4A behind some teams that actually have made it to the state tournament. Behind Chisago Lakes, Hill Murray, and Orono. Chisago Lakes on top at 39.5 themselves. So that I got to imagine that says something about an offense too. Even though yes, it is power T, and they're not necessarily predicated on scoring a bunch of points and scoring fast, but that does say something about this offense in the fact that they are able to put up those points, to your point of getting into a shootout.
Absolutely, and we're talking about their rushing attack, but also they're decent passing the football. I mean, they're not a potent passing offense, but 145 yards passing a game, that's nothing to sneeze at. That'll keep the defense honest, and it's sort of like I don't want to say balanced, but it makes things easier for your offense. It makes the boxes lighter, and you can really run the ball more successfully when you do that.
And we kind of talked about it a little bit before going on air, that this offense, the defense is just going to come up and put 9 in the box more times than not. And speaking of defense, yards given up, that is heavily in Hutchinson's favor. They only give up less than 200 yards per game, and North Branch gives up 251 points per game. It's pretty even, but it still favors Hutchinson in 10, while North Branch gives up 19. And we kind of talked pros a little bit, but this is kind of what head coach Justin Voss talked about a little bit, is their defense isn't necessarily going to stop everybody. And sometimes, they give up a few more yards than they would like, but they are kind of they get into those situations and it's bend, don't break. And when you get to this point in the state tournament, how hard is it to play that bend, don't break mentality? Not that that's what they're predicated on and what they're banking on, but how hard is it to do that, especially at this point in the state tournament against a Hutchinson team that can do it both through the air and on the ground?
Well, you're in the state tournament, so every team you play from now on is better. I mean, on paper, should be better than every team that you've played before. So that bend, don't break defense can really get you into trouble if that bending against a more formidable opponent starts breaking. And that's the problem. The battle is going to really be on the line of scrimmage. I know we were talking about defensively, but offensively, if Hutchinson is able to get pressure with just their 4 down linemen, and they don't have to blitz, it's really going to make things difficult for North Branch to get anything really going if they're able to cause problems with less defenders in the box. So that's really where the battle is going to take place, both sides of the ball.
And I think going off of that, how important are turnovers or a lack thereof in this game?
Turnovers are huge. You can really turn a game. So, I mean, if you get one here, depending on where it is, it might not be too detrimental. But yeah, if you're -2, -3,
right,
that's when you start getting into problems. Or on the other side of the coin, +2 or 3, you're really putting yourself in positive field position to really do some damage.
Yeah, and speaking of their turnover margin this year, they're +10. They had 10 giveaways, 20 takeaways, 12 fumble recoveries, and 8 interceptions. So this defense is pretty opportunistic getting after the ball and taking the ball away. Their offense has only given it away 10 times, but like you mentioned, it really depends on where those turnovers come, and especially on what part of the field, because if you're getting the ball, you're making a drive, and you all of a sudden turn it over inside the 10, that can be really detrimental to your team, because you're presumably going in to score.
Yep.
And then now your defense, obviously, there is a little bit of a silver lining. You back them up inside their own 10, but at the same time, now they've got the ball, and now momentum has quickly shifted.
And when we have 2 rushing offenses, this game is going to go by relatively quickly. There won't be as many possessions, so each possession is more valuable than if, like the St. Thomas Academy Alexandria game. There are multiple possessions in the quarters where you could have one or both teams just having one possession in a quarter. So each possession is very, very valuable. So if you turn the ball over on one of them, it's really detrimental.
It really is. And speaking of that, and I know we talked about it a little bit, but is it more important, you think, for North Branch to get out to a lead first, seeing as how Hutchinson has a little bit more of the balanced look to their team, over 900 yards passing this year, plus close to 3,000 yards rushing, while North Branch is run. They're run heavy, over 4,000 yards rushing, and only the 145 yards passing, but you mentioned they can really get it done through the air. They've shown that. But is it more important for North Branch to get on the board first and get that lead, or is it more important for them just to kind of establish their offense and their defense?
I think it's both. When you score quickly against a defense, you really put a defense on their heels, and they're really playing defense, and they're not attacking. They're not being as aggressive defensively, so it really alters their play calling, and you're getting 4 or 5 yards a pop, and that's fine. But if they're able to really pin their ears back and they don't think you can beat them offensively, you're getting negative yardage, maybe 1 or 2 yards a play, and you're really putting yourself in a bad spot.
Absolutely, and looking at these two teams, it is a little bit different. Offensively, defensively, it's going to look a little similar at certain points, but they're obviously two different teams. But this North Branch team and this Hutchinson team, I talk about differences, specifically, you mentioned it before, on the line of scrimmage. Hutchinson is a little bit bigger on that line of scrimmage than North Branch. Now, that's not to say that you can't go up against a bigger opponent and play better, because sometimes it's the strength of the smaller guy that just outmatches the size of the bigger guy, and sometimes it's the athleticism, the want, the heart, the drive. But on that line of scrimmage, you kind of mentioned it a little bit about how that is going to play a huge factor in this game, that line of scrimmage. How important is it for physicality-wise, for North Branch to set the tone?
It is incredibly important, but there's also different ways you can scheme out of being the smaller team. You use misdirection, you use counter plays, you keep the defense. You move the defense where you want them to be so you can cut back, and they're in a bad spot because their momentum is taking them one way, and you're like, nope, going the other way behind you. You really kind of use their aggression against them.
Absolutely, and you see the stats coming on the screen for Hutchinson: 352 yards per game, 30 points per game. Their passing leader is Mr. Butler. Logan Butler, he threw for over 800 yards, 10 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Their leading rusher ran the ball 199 times for 941 yards for 11 touchdowns. But it's the guy right behind him for Hasselt who ran the ball nearly as well, 931 yards rushing, but 18 touchdowns on the year. But they, as I mentioned, do pass the ball well. Renner, who is a running back, also does it through the passing game. He ran the ball 631 times, 9 touchdowns, but then he also caught the ball 26 times for 494 yards and 8 touchdowns. There's a total of 17 total touchdowns and over 1,000 total yards on the season for Mr. Renner. So when you've got one guy who can do it multiple ways like that, for North Branch, how important is it to make sure that you're not keying off on one guy? Because obviously you want to keep an eye on him when he's got stats that are pretty even like that, but you also want to make sure you're looking out for the guys who also ran for over 900 yards. So how difficult is it for North Branch to make sure, or how important, I should say, how important is it that they are focusing on doing their job and not just on a player?
If a team is able to beat you in multiple ways, that's what makes a team incredibly dangerous. We've seen teams in sports where they have one guy who is all-world, but they don't really get far in the playoffs because a team can really shut it down. But not just, and you're right, they don't want to put so much attention on one player that they forget about another one, but it really puts you in a tough spot because not only are they bigger, they're taller as well. Quarterback at 6'5", receivers at 6'3". That's like college football NFL height right there.
Yeah, it really is. And to have a quarterback that tall, we just watched Alexandria, who had a quarterback about that size. But we can also talk about North Branch being that kind of dangerous team with the multiple guys you got to watch out for. We talked about the fakes. This is probably the team that is the best at carrying out their fakes in all of Class 4A because they run the power T. Again, that's 3 running backs in the backfield in one line. Then you got the quarterback who can also run the ball on kind of an option keep. So you've got 4 guys in the backfield that can carry the ball. So if you're North Branch, how much do you rely on your running backs, your quarterbacks, carrying out those fakes and being disciplined with them?
They're everything. This is sort of, if you're going to want to beat a team like Hutchinson, North Branch is the kind of team that you're going to have to do it with. You need to make them second guess what they're thinking, and that way you're a step ahead of them.
Absolutely, and you can see the stats on the screen here. Over 4,000 yards rushing, nearly 4,500 yards total, 37 points per game. Their defensive stats, they give up 2,761 yards total, 19 points per game given up, and pretty even. But again, they are a team that is kind of bend, don't break, but again, they do a lot of bending and not so much breaking here, especially in the playoffs, and I think that's just incredible. 10-1 record, Section 7 4A champs, second year in a row for those North Branch Vikings, and it looks like it looks like they won't put 5 minutes back up on the Embrace Orthodontics scoreboard. It looks like we'll get right to the action. They're wanting to get this going. They do not want that Eden Prairie Edina game starting at 9 o'clock.
Yeah, as of right now, that game will start at 9 o'clock, and that is a late night.
It really is. So, again, you can tune in here, 95.5 FM, KBK.com, for the Kettle River Pizza kickoff coming up here in just about a minute or so. Teams are getting to their sidelines talking about it. Hutchinson did win the toss and chose to receive. What is the strategy there? Receiving the ball to start the game, is this more or less their offense going out and trying to establish themselves and kind of take it to North Branch right away? But if you're North Branch, this is your time for your defense now to step up, I got to imagine, and tell Hutchinson, we don't care.
Yeah, Hutchinson, when a team elects to receive it, it sounds like they're much more confident in their offense than they are in their defense. Just scoring points, getting the right foot forward.
That Kettle River Pizza kickoff, it's a great way for your team to fundraise. Visit KettleRiverPizza.com to get started. Kettle River Pizza is the delicious, locally made frozen pizzas. Pick one up on your way home from the game tonight or stop into their Ascove location and buy in bulk and scave. And there's the boot. It's going to be more of a squib onside. We talked about that in pregame as well, how they have done that before, and they have, again, I don't know if it's purposely or an accident, but they've hit the up back with that kind of squib onside kick, and they've recovered it to open the game like that. You put your defense in a little precarious situation, but I got to imagine that the chance of them getting that ball kind of overwhelms the fact that that might go against them.
They might have wanted to see if they could catch Hutchinson sleeping, but Hutchinson did a good job of recovering it, and now they have really good field position in the I formation.
I formation receiver out wide to the right. They're going to hand it off here to Thode. Thode up the middle past the 50, and he's going to get into North Branch territory with one carry to the 49. It's a gain of 6 for Thode. Nathan Thode, the ball carrier there for the Hutchinson Tigers.
Thode, a 6'2", running back. That is a tall running back even.
It really is. They talked about that with Adrian Peterson, who was about 6'2", but he got it done. And now it will be in North Branch territory. A little bit of a funky formation. They had the running back almost at a tight end position, but they'll give it back to Thode. He gets near the 45 to the 46. It'll be a gain of about 3 there for Thode, and he'll be a yard short of the first.
It was good blocking by Hutchinson, but North Branch did a good job of rallying to the ball and getting the ball carrier down.
So 3rd down and 1 here for the Hutchinson Tigers. Can the Vikings make a stop?
Already a big 3rd down.
Yeah, and again, North Branch, they squib kicked it, I formation, tight I formation. They'll give it up to the fullback. This is Verhasselt. Verhasselt has a lot of room to run. He's got surprisingly quick speed inside the 10. Stiff arms a man, and he's down to the 5. Oh, they're going to get a flag. I think they're going to possibly get him for a horse collar, but that is not a great call.
Yeah, we'll see what the call is.
That's from the 46 to about the 5. A gain of 41 there for Verhasselt. Brody Beaver with the tackle. No. First of all, it wasn't on number 6. Well,
yeah, I got him in the
he got it
collar
up
area
there, but I don't. Well, either way, they're down. They're just going to take it where it's. Well, no, they moved the ball to about the 2.5-yard line. And it looks like they've got a heavy package in there. And off will be to Verhasselt, and he gets stopped at the 2. Nice job. Brody Beaver with the tackle. Great stop there after the 41-yard carry by Verhasselt on the previous play. Now he's stuck for a gain of maybe 1 on that carry. And it'll be 2nd down and goal from about the 1.5.
We've seen defenses be like sieves after a big gain like that. So it was a good job by North Branch. Just hanging in there and trying to keep Hutchinson out of the end zone.
They blitz heavy up the middle, but Thode is in, and an easy walk-in touchdown off the left side. And a 1-yard touchdown run for Nate Thode of the Hutchinson Tigers. And on that play, we've seen North Branch come up the middle heavy. I mean,
Yeah.
They went up the middle.
They gambled. They thought that it was just going to go to that up back, but, I mean, at the 2-yard line, you kind of do have to gamble. It was boom or bust, and it just ended up going to Thode, who they did not key on.
And you talked about the danger of having those multiple guys who you can give it off to, and there it is. And they're going to line up in the same formation. This time they'll give it off to the right side, and taking it in this time is Charles Renner for the 2-point conversion to make it 8-0 in favor of Hutchinson. So Hutchinson gets on the board first. It's 8-0. And the Vikings trail.
Yeah, it was a good misdirection by Hutchinson, forcing North Branch to keep their eyes on one ball carrier and just handed it off to the other. And North Branch was out of position, and Thode was able to run into the end zone. Or no, that was Renner who went into the end zone. 6'3", Renner.
Tall running backs, tall athletes out there
Tall
for
everything.
Hutchinson. Yes. 5 plays, 55 yards for Hutchinson. It took off 1:45 off the clock on that drive. So now it will be North Branch's turn, and it's a little interesting to see who they'll have in the backfield for them. Unfortunately, Minky and Drill had to leave the offense in the second half for North Branch, so it'll be interesting to see who starts here tonight for the North Branch Vikings. Hutchinson will get set to kick it away, and there's the boot. It's going to be more of a squib. North Branch is not getting on top of it. They finally do. They seen 2 of their up backs look at it and watch it roll back, and I imagine Justin Voss, their head coach, is going to be getting them to the sideline and saying, hey, you got to hop on that. So the North Branch Vikings will take over. Ball spotted on their own 32-yard line. That's where they'll take over in their own territory. So trying to catch the running backs, it looks like we will have everybody out there per normal. Tigan along with Minky. And it will not be Drill. It will be Austin Anderson out there instead. This time they're going to give it off the left side here. No, it's going to be a keeper that time by, the quarterback, Jacob Robillard, and he goes backwards.
Loses 2 yards.
Good pursuit by number 23, Ethan Lenz.
So it'll be a tackle for loss, a loss of about 2 there for Jacob Robillard. Not the best start that North Branch could have asked for, but now you've got a chance to know what your team is all about. And one thing with this North Branch team is they can work from behind the sticks. It's not that they're comfortable from behind the sticks, but they certainly can work from behind them. This time they give off the left side there. Could not see if that was Minky or it was Minky. And he gets back to about the line of scrimmage. That's about it. So no gain there.
And now you're forced to throw the football or at least have a draw play. Really limits your play calling ability here on your first drive.
It really does. And 3rd down and 12 now for the North Branch Vikings. -2 on this drive so far. It's 3rd down. They did give him a yard on the play for Minky. 3rd down and 11. Power T formation. Robillard will keep it himself. They're going to pass out of it. They've got a man downfield. He fell. And they're going to call pass interference on it. And the defender gets out of bounds in North Branch territory. But that was, they were looking for Nathan Edwards, and they called a pass interference. I was looking at the screen because I'm blind, so I try to choose something that's a little bit closer to look at. But from the sounds of it, it looked pretty clear.
I wonder how hard it was.
Oh, he pushed him.
I think it was bad. You have to call that, but I think it was more bad timing than anything, because the defender had his hand on his back, and that's when the intended receiver tripped over the yard marker.
Well, I'm going to call it he pushed him. He pushed him.
If you're a North Branch fan, you're saying he pushed him.
Yes, exactly. But either way, it's a new set of downs here for the North Branch Vikings, wearing their all-black uniforms, the 3 stripes on the sleeves that are white. They're white letters and numbers outlined in the red. They're red, all red helmets that they're wearing. Of course, Hutchinson, all black pants, white jerseys, black numbers, black helmet, the yellow logo on the helmet. This time, they'll give it up the middle, and nothing doing that time for Austin Anderson.
So far, Hutchinson is doing a really good job at the line of scrimmage.
And that's what we talked about here pregame. Is you mentioned it too, that the line of scrimmage was going to be key here in this one. And so far, it just looks like the offensive line that time, simply put, they got manhandled, first of all. But it looked like they tried to double up one of those defensive linemen, and the linebackers were able to get in there pretty much scot-free.
Yeah, now you have to do a little misdirection, counter plays, if you will.
Power T formation, Robillard under center, and they got the defense to jump. That should be a free 5 yards for North Branch. We'll wait and see, of course.
Yeah, we'll see if North Branch jumped first there on the left side.
Hutchinson was pointing, but it is going to be false start. That'll be the Vikings' second, and that is not what you need if you're North Branch, especially on when you've got a drive that has so far only went backwards. Yeah. You got -1 yards on this drive other than the penalty.
Yeah, when you're struggling to gain any yardage, going backwards is going to be a tough spot.
So it will make it 2nd down and 15 now for the North Branch Vikings. Power T formation, Robillard under center. He takes the snap, and he'll hand it off this time to Anderson. Anderson tries to make a man miss, but he gets past the 45 to about the 47. So from the 2nd down and 15, he gains a few, and it'll make it still 3rd down and long. 4 yards there for Austin Anderson.
Another 3rd and long for North Branch. Picking up their first down on a penalty.
Maybe they'll get another one here. We are 7 minutes left here on that Embrace Orthodontic scoreboard. Custom Light Force braces or Invisalign clear liners. 3 locations, Pine City, Lyncham, Cambridge. Power T formation. Robillard under center. This is pass territory. Let's see if they can't hit Edwards or Joey Donahue. No, instead it'll be a keep there. And Robillard's got some room to run past the 1st down marker to the 40. And it's a 1st down for the North Branch Vikings.
That was the best play of the game so far. And that was that misdirection we were talking about.
That is a big pickup there.
He held that ball into the belly of the up back for so long that it caught Hutchinson watching.
Gain of 15 there for Jacob Robillard. And I kind of mentioned it, but this team is, again, I don't want to say comfortable working behind the chains, but they are definitely have the ability to. They have done it quite a few times, unfortunately, but they have been able to work from behind the chains, and they do it pretty darn well. Robillard back under center. He's going to give it off the right side now. This is Tigan, and Tigan gets rolled up by the defender. You feel like if he could have hurdled that man, he might have been off to the races, but he gets down inside the 35 to the 34. It's a gain of 4 there for Jacob Tigan, his first carry of the game.
Well, in the beginning of this drive, we were talking about how dominant Hutchinson was, but here we are with just really one positive play that North Branch has had, and they're still driving. It must be maddening for the Hutchinson defense.
6.5 minutes now on that Embrace Orthodontic scoreboard. Their doctors are committed to providing world-class orthodontic care in a friendly, comfortable atmosphere. Of course, they'll leave you with a smile you'll embrace forever. Second down and 6, Robillard under center. Here he goes. He takes the snap, gives it off the left side to Mickey. Mickey has a little bit of a lane to run through, cuts it back, and then he's swarmed upon by is it a pride of Tigers? Is that what it's called, or is it a pack?
I think it's a pride of Tigers.
Okay, I think it is. I think so as well. So Mickey takes it off the left side. Not much doing. He maybe gained 2 there.
We'll go to our animal correspondent on the field.
Third down and 4 for the Vikings. And again, you mentioned it. They've been able to drive here. That one penalty got them that first down, and then they were able to convert on a 3rd and long. Third down and more manageable this time, of course. Third down percentage this year, 60%, 43 for 71 on the season. Robillard.
This is 4-down territory, too.
Oh, and then he fumbled it, and luckily able to jump on top. And Robillard, that's his mistake there, sadly. We're not picking on him, but he simply stood up under center far too soon.
Yeah, he was getting going quicker than the ball was there.
And I got to imagine when that happens, he's keeping it. I got to imagine that's a play where that's a design quarterback keeper off the right side. Looked like he got blockers on that right side of the line. It looked like, honestly, if he had held on to the ball, it might have been good for a first down. But now you'll work, and it's going to be 4th down and 5 instead of the 3rd down and 4 that you had. So this will be interesting. Inside the 35 of Hutchinson, 4th down and 5. Robillard under center, power T formation. Robillard takes the snap. He's going to fake it one way. He's under pressure, throws it up for Edward. No, that's Minky, and it's field position. He's got it. Touchdown!
What a play.
Oh,
by Minky. He just stole it.
Wow.
From the defender.
What a play there by Minky.
He's got to find a hideout because he is guilty of theft.
Wow.
Oh, my gosh.
Holy cow. That is a case of Minky simply wanting it more than the defender. My goodness. He mossed him. He did. In the home of the Vikings, he definitely mossed him. Wow. Robillard, it wasn't the greatest of throws by Robillard. He definitely threw it up, but he trusted Minky, his running back, to go up and get that one, and he definitely did. Robillard trying to go for it on this two-point conversion. Breaks the tackle. He's in!
He just let the defender fly right by him. He just stopped on a dime.
Robillard converts the 2, and we're tied at 8 on that Embrace Orthodontics scoreboard. Embrace Orthodontics, your customized smile journey starts with a free consultation. The team at Embrace wants to make your journey as seamless and convenient as possible with custom Life Force braces or Invisalign clear aligners. Find out more at embracemn.com. What a drive there, and an answer by North Branch. And to begin that drive for North Branch, it kind of felt gloomy. It kind of felt like, oh boy, it's going to be a long football game. They got the penalty that helped them. Then you convert on a 3rd and 11, and then you get that big throw there to Minky on 4th down, no less. I mean, my goodness, what a drive.
Momentum is a real thing. That they were running in cement in that first part of the drive. But after that first down, after that penalty, and they got 4 yards on the next run.
Absolutely.
And then the quarterback run for about 14 yards. And then the Vikings were saying, hey, we're still in this game. Let's get this thing.
Of course, Tyler Minky stands 6'2", so another one of those taller athletes there for North Branch. They'll get set to boot it away. It's Brody Beaver. And there's the boot. They will go with the onside. Their receiver called the fair catch. And that on the fair catch was Verhasselt. Calling the fair catch, and inside, so looks like it will be starting inside the 40, if I'm looking correctly. So They will start on their own side of the field, Will Hutchinson, for their second possession. With 4:34 to go on that Embrace Orthodontics scoreboard here in the first quarter, we're tied at 8. They'll do all the insurance heavy lifting for you. If you don't have insurance, ask about financing options. They'll find a plan to fit your budget. I formation, they fake the give. They look to pass. They got a man deep, but he lobs this one up, and he got him. And he breaks the tackle, and that's Renner I talked about, and he's going to, you're going to want to have a talk with him. He just jogged into the end zone. If I'm a defender, I come up and I rip that ball from him.
That ball was beautifully thrown, right where it needed to be, and Renner just ran underneath it.
That was Logan Butler, the quarterback, with the pass, again, to Charles Renner, who caught it for 64 yards and a touchdown. Now, again, if you're North Branch, you see him kind of jogging to the end zone like that, I'm telling my guys, hey, you see that happening? He's getting a little too overconfident. Go down there and rip that ball out. They will go for 2, and he's in. That's Renner again for 2. So it's one play, 64 yards, and it's now 16-8 in favor of the Tigers. Now, if you're the Vikings again, this isn't a Viking team that is going to be getting any cornerbacks that are drafted into the NFL right now. But they usually don't play with the safety over top. I got to think with how this Hutchinson team plays offense, even...
You have to trust your defenders. You have to trust your secondary to keep with their guy. And Hutchinson, Renner just beat his defender and got open.
And you mentioned it was a good throw by Butler. Let's give him credit. But defender, and it was good coverage too. It wasn't like it was bad coverage. And here's the boot. It's going to be bouncing and rolling inside the 25, taken out about the 21, and that's where the returner will take off. He gets past the 25, and then he's wrapped up before the 30 to about the 27-yard line, so that's where North Branch will take over. 4:19 to go here in this first quarter. Hutchinson leads over the Vikings 16-8. Embrace Orthodontics, the team over there, believes the results of a remarkable orthodontic experience should last a lifetime. They'll keep your smile transformation where it needs to be with a lifelong retention program at EmbraceMN.com. 4:19 left to go here, where the Vikings will take over on their own 28-yard line. And again, now the way that these two offenses have scored, this looks like this might turn into more of a shootout that we talked about.
And with that last pass play, are you more inclined to throw the football more?
Robillard, a defender falls. He's going to take it off the right side of the line. He's got some room to run. He breaks off of one tackle, trying to shimmy shake a defender, but he gets inside Hutchinson territory past the 45, and North Branch with one play is into Hutchinson territory.
Remember when I said, are you more inclined to pass it? Just forget what I said. Just throw it in the garbage. And that's the misdirection. They're packing the inside of the line, so they're going to the outside. Mm-hmm. And that seems to be where they think they have an advantage. If you're going to pack the middle of the line, we're going to take it outside.
And again, the fakes by that North Branch team were just tremendous. They carry out their fakes, I think, better than any team in this state in Class 4A. Power T formation for Robillard under center. He'll take the snap. It looks like he'll hand it up the middle. That would be Austin Anderson there. And he goes nowhere. In fact, he might have lost a yard back to the 46-yard line for Austin Anderson. So -1, and it'll be 2nd down and 11. That clock ticking under 4 minutes to go. Of course, he did run out of bounds on that last play, so it stopped the clock momentarily. Clock will run now, closing in on 3.5 minutes left to go here in this first quarter. North Branch trailing Hutchinson 16-8 on that Embrace Orthodontics scoreboard. Back under center, Robillard, power T formation. Robillard, he'll take the snap. He'll give it off the right side of the line. Nothing doing. And he manages to bounce it back outside and maybe pick up 2 for Jacob Tigan. But that is going to make it 3rd down and long for the Vikings.
That might not seem like an important run, but it turns a 3rd and 11 into a 3rd and, 8? 3rd and 9? Makes it a little bit more manageable.
And he bounced off a tackle there and bounced it to the outside, which was a very smart play by him. He could have easily tried to plow through that tackle. He didn't, and he chose to bounce it outside, which was a good decision. Now here on this third down, the Vikings set up under center, power T formation, Robillard under center. Got a man on the far side who's looking to blitz. Robillard, he'll keep it himself. He's tripped up. He got tripped up by a very good open field tackle. Had he not been tripped up, he might have been off to the races.
There was another hole there between the defensive line and the secondary.
So no gain. It brings up 4th down and 9. Now if you're the Vikings, what do you do here? Do you send the punt unit out?
I think you kind of have to, but you're defensively, you really need to make a stand right here on this possession.
Robillard, a junior, he'll be back next year for this team. That'll be a big addition to them next year. Of course, looks like they will punt this ball away, and I believe that's Brody Beaver getting set to punt it away. Back for the Tigers is going to be number 5, Thode, and this punt is away. A end-over-end kick is rolling, and it will take a Hutchinson bounce, but it will still be down to inside the 20. So for North Branch, they set up Hutchinson with their worst field position of the game so far, inside their own 20 at about the 17-yard line. So if you're North Branch, now you've put your defense in a better situation.
Yes, absolutely. So you really need to stop the big plays. That has been your Achilles heel so far with that big run by that up back. What's his name? Let's see if I can find it. Verhulset. There in that first drive, and then just that one-play drive with Renner.
High formation receiver on the right side. They're going to give it off to Thode off the right side of the line. Makes a man miss after a spin move. Gets up to the, that's a generous spot.
Much better defensive play, though, by North Branch.
Are they really going to give him the 22? I feel like that's a little bit of a generous spot. Well, it'll be 5 yards apparently by Thode. We hear over the PA system. Apologize for any Hutchinson fans who may have tuned in for a moment. Thode on the carry for 5 yards. High formation again. Receiver on the right side is Renner. They'll take the snap, and it will be a reverse to Renner. Renner, stiff arms man past the 25, and he'll pick up the first down to about the 27. Actually, he's right at the first down line. We'll see if he got it. It's close.
We'll see where they mark it.
Well, they're
going to give it to him.
Yep. So 5-yard gain there for Renner. That's his first carry. Again, he's the dual threat guy, can do it in the passing game and on the ground. They'll set up in 3 running backs behind the quarterback. And he will fake it one way, give it off to Renner off the right side of the line, who is spun down past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. Gain of 6 for Renner. That'll make it 2nd down and 4.
Good job by North Branch keeping their eyes at home, but with this misdirection that Hutchinson is playing, it really kind of makes you takes a beat. Makes you take a beat so you're really not throwing yourself out there.
Manny Pierce lines up wide out to the right, and they'll give it up the middle this time to Verhasselt, and he'll get it up to about the 39-yard line, a gain of 6, and that'll be a first down for the Hutchinson Tigers. Under a minute to go on that Embrace Orthodontics scoreboard in this first quarter. Vikings trail by 8.
Spindler with a touchdown-saving tackle right there.
Yeah, that was a very good tackle in the open field. Again, same formation, I formation. Give it up the middle to Verhasselt, and he gets past the 40 to close to the 45. Looks like about the 44. Another 5-yard gain there for Verhasselt.
Hutchinson does a good job of falling forward.
Yeah, and that's a good point, too, because I think there's something to say about that. And coaches talk to you about that, and I don't think some players take it as seriously as others, but there's something to say about falling forward as North Branch tries to set the ball back a yard. Hey, anything you can do to help your team. They quite literally grabbed the ball because it had moved around and tried to set it back a yard, but the referee was right there saying, hey, I see ya. So that will be the end of the first quarter here at U.S. Bank Stadium, the home for this state Class 4A semifinal game between your North Branch Vikings and the Hutchinson Tigers. Back after word from our fine sponsors. You're listening to State Football on Nice 95.5 KBEK.
Want to make some extra money this holiday season? Then join Burnett Dairy Cooperative's Cheese Store Holiday Crew. They're looking for temporary employees to assist with gift box orders from October 1st through January 6th. This position is scheduled Sunday through Thursday from 12 to 8 p.m. with an hourly rate of $14 per hour and an end-of-the-season retention bonus. Call 715-689-2170 or apply online at burnettdairy.com and click on Careers.
Arrowhead Transit plays a pivotal role in bolstering the communities it serves. By providing accessible and reliable transportation, they ensure essential travel for work, education, and healthcare. Arrowhead Transit is customer-centric, continuously evolving to meet the needs of the community with initiatives like community outreach programs, job fairs, and educational workshops and more. Arrowhead Transit is more than just a transportation service. It is a vital part of the communities it supports. Your connection, your community. Arrowhead Transit. Your ride.
Second quarter, Hutchinson will be moving south while the Vikings, will head north when they have the ball. This time they carry up the middle. Did not quite see the ball carrier for Hasseltz with the carry.
It's a big third down play here.
Gain of 3 there for Hasseltz. And yeah, you mentioned it. It's third down and about 2. This is big, but this might be with the way Hutchinson's offense has been moving 4-down territory. But North Branch looking to make a stop. They'll give it off the left side to Thody, and he falls forward past the 50 to nearly the 45 of North Branch to the 46.
Hutchinson knew that North Branch was going to pack the middle of the line of scrimmage, and they just took it off tackle.
Gain of 7 there for Thody, on 3rd and 2. Good open field tackle, though, by the quarterback, Robillard. And this Viking team is kind of rare. They're a 4A team who has a lot of guys who play both ways.
Yeah, Hutchinson is noticeably bigger team in numbers.
And this ball carrier flips forward for Hasselt on the carry. He does a somersault because the defender fell down. He threw him over top of him, a little bit of a somersault there. Gain of 5 there for Hasselt.
5'9", 180.
It's a nice, solid running back.
Yeah.
It's second down and 5 for Hutchinson at the Viking 41-yard line. I formation, receiver to the left. Instead, they're going to give it off to Thody. Thody cuts it back up the middle. Nice open field tackle. Quickly wrapped up, but again, you mentioned it before. He fell forward, and he picks up about 2 yards because of it to the Viking, looks like 38-yard line.
Yeah, for most teams, that would have been a no gain.
Mm-hmm. And I think there's something to say with this size of them, too, not just weight, but the height, 6'3", 6'2". I mean, There's something to say with falling forward, especially with a guy of those heights.
Yeah, not only that, but you're tiring out the defense of North Branch.
Third down and 2, ball on the Viking 38-yard line. I formation here for Hutchinson. They'll give it up to the up back. That is for Hasselt. He's got the first down and a few more to the 35. And he'll have it by a yard.
More of
from Hutchinson. Thody on the carry only manages to pick up 3 that time to about the 32-yard line. It'll be second down and 7. That clock clicking to 9 minutes here left in this first half. On the Embrace Orthodontic scoreboard, custom Light Force braces or Invisalign clear aligners, 3 locations, Pine City, Lindstrom, and Cambridge. Their doctors are also committed to providing world-class orthodontic care in a friendly, comfortable atmosphere. Start today at embracemn.com. Stay tuned at halftime. We'll have your Arrowhead Transit halftime. More of a wishbone formation here for Hutchinson. They'll give it up again for Hasselt. No, they'll fake it and give it off to Thody. He gets past the 30 to about the 27-yard line. Another 3-yard gain there, 4 or 5 on that one.
So it's 3rd and 3, but this is 4-down territory.
Certainly. That was Renner on the carry. So 3rd down and short to go now for Hutchinson. This would still be a big stop for North Branch. They'd obviously have to stop, as you mentioned, on 4th, but still be a big stop on 3rd. Under center, Butler goes. He gives it off the left side to Thody. Thody has the first down to about the 23-yard line. Gain of 5. So the Vikings give up the first down. And again, you have Robillard on the tackle. Robillard seems to be the playmaker right now for this Viking team, and and leave it to your quarterback to really be making the plays on both sides of the ball right now. But, again, you mentioned it. This defense has been out there a while, and we don't see North Branch usually make a lot of substitutions. I think they might here once this next offensive drive starts, as Thody gets the carry, a toss off the left side. He breaks off of one tackle, falling forward, looking like he will pick up yet another. They're going to give him another generous spot to the 10. My goodness. Gain of 11. Yeah, they're going to give him that 10. He was really spotted down at the 11, but they're going to be generous with that spot. I mean, you can watch the video. He was down at the 11. My goodness. Well, give him the extra yard. It'll be technically first down and goal inside the Roddy Motors red zone. Roddy Motors in Mora, voted best dealer in Kanabec County 2 years in a row. That's a repeat champion, Roddy Motors. 100 Pine Street, Mora. Toss out right this time to Thody. He's found the cutback lane, breaks off tackle, walk into the end zone.
And that's what that drive can do to you. It slows you down. It's a long drive for the defense to be out there.
A 10-yard rushing touchdown for Thody. That'll make it 22-8. And, yeah, you can just kind of see that this Viking team a little bit gassed right now. But I think also it's Hutchinson carrying out their own fakes that's really doing it, because we've seen them crash on that left side of the line, and then Thody came out on the right side, a little bit of a counter action by the offensive lineman, but then they toss it out wide to the right to Thody. It'll be a give here to Renner, and he walks it in for 2. It's 24-8 in favor of Hutchinson.
That is really detrimental to a tired defense. 15-play drive there by Hutchinson, and that North Branch defense, I mean, you can't really blame them for being tired. That is a long time to be on the field.
That is. It was a long drive there. Ends with 7:03 left on the Embrace Orthodontics scoreboard here in the first half. Embrace Orthodontics, they'll leave you with a smile you'll embrace forever. Find out more at embracemn.com. That's EMBRACEMN.com. North Branch showed out very well here today. Of course, they had to do a lot of waiting. This game was supposed to start at 4:30. Instead, it started about an hour or so later than it was supposed to, due to the game previous between Alexandria and St. Thomas Academy going very late. And we're sure the game before that and the game before that started late as well. And the game after this will start late as well. But, yeah, very long drive. That's tough. This North Branch team going to get some water, catch their breath, and head coach Justin Voss is going to talk to them. And now set to kick it away is DeMeyer, I believe. And it'll be more of a squib kick. No one getting on top of it. They'll pick it up at about the 26-yard line and running into a pride of Tigers at about the 31, and that's where the Vikings offense will take over. Now, to be fair, we kind of mentioned that the possessions were going to be down after a hot start to the first quarter. Each team has now only had 3 possessions.
Right, and Hutchinson has scored on all 3 of them, but North Branch did a good job of slowing them down on that last possession. But it's almost more discouraging when you're doing well and they still score. So as a Coach Voss is saying, hey, keep it up, wait for an opportunity and then really take advantage of that opportunity.
And how important is it here for North Branch just to stay patient with their offense in the run game?
Yeah, it's only a 2-possession game here in the second quarter, so you don't need to get it all at one time.
Back under center, Robillard in the power T formation. He'll take the snap. He'll give it off the left side. There, I believe that was possibly Tigan or Minky. And it looks like it was... Oh, Carter Drill's back in at running back. First of all, what a name for a running back and a linebacker, Carter Drill. I mean, what a name, but he's back in. He's been dealing with some injury problems. Glad to see him back in. He only gains 2 that time. I look at him as kind of their pounder, along with Tigan. Him and Drill have just really been able to tote the rock, run through defenders, and break off long runs. And I think that's what that North Branch did with putting Drill back into this game, is they want those guys to start breaking off some tackles as Tigan goes nowhere. Tigan on the carry. Excuse me, that's going to be Minky.
Gets about a yard. So Hutchinson once again doing a good job defensively.
And again, you talked about being patient here. The linebackers for Hutchinson are really doing a good job of letting the D-line kind of do the work and then being the beneficiary of that D-line doing all the work, and they're just waiting for the running backs to get through. And right now it just seems like the plays are not getting off to the speed that North Branch would like them to be.
And not only that, if you can get pressure with just the defensive line, it frees up the linebackers to do what they want to do.
Robillard will take the snap. He'll look to throw. It's floated up in the air. It's intercepted. It's Thody. And he's going to take it out of bounds.
Robillard throwing it into double coverage.
And that's a struggle there when you're a team that does not pass often. You're going to have those plays where, Robillard probably isn't used to reading a defense per se when you're throwing the ball. He's probably more used to just he's got that one guy that he needs to throw to, and usually he's open. That time he was under some pressure and just had to get rid of it. But in that situation, I think he's going to go back to head coach Justin Voss, and Voss is probably going to tell him, hey, you either need to take the sack or run with it in that situation.
Yeah, take what the defense is giving you.
That is a Haley Newman of Keller Williams Realty turnover. If you're looking to buy or sell a property, contact Haley Newman of Keller Williams at 320-469-6868. They'll give it off the left side here. The running back kind of trips over his own offensive lineman. That is going to be number 11 on the carry. That's Manny Pierce, who picks up a few.
That lateral movement was really good by North Branch, because I felt like that could have been a really big play, but they were able to move down the line of scrimmage and get them for a short gain.
And again, we're talking about this Hutchinson offense kind of doing it multiple ways, but a very good point that North Branch made a great stop there. So they're going to give it back to Thody. He gets tripped up, but he's close to, if not, does have a first down to the 36. I think they will. Yes, they will give him.
That far side official's showing that he's going to give it to him.
Another 5-yard gain for him. He's averaging about 5, 6, 7 yards a carry for Thody. And right now, if I'm North Branch, again, the problem with this Hutchinson offense is you could probably stack the box with 9 and only have to worry about one receiver, because usually that's what they've been doing. But if you do that, then you risk the Hutchinson stretching you out defensively, and so far they've been able to do that now. But I gotta think, if you're North Branch, you got to find a way to just slow this offense down. And right now, it seems to me that Hutchinson is going more off tackle with Thody. So if I'm North Branch, I think I'm telling these linebackers, hey, you're going to have to step up, you're going to have to blow up a block, and you're going to have to make a play.
Yeah, at a certain point, the risk is worth it. There's the blitz that we were talking about. But
good blitz, but this running back, my goodness, breaking off of tackles. Holy cow. Gaining nearly 10 yards. And waiting for the number, that's for Hasselt on the carry, gaining 9 on that one. And again, for Hasselt, he stands 5'9", 180. Again, just a little bowling ball out there. And we're not being mean by saying that, but he carried defenders for about 5 extra yards.
Yeah, that's the body type he wants. So, no, we're not.
They'll run a offset eye, pitch out to Thody. And again, it's like, you hope Thody's okay. He hit his head hard on the turf. My goodness. I mean, that did not look pretty. Looks like he's okay, though. Thankfully, we never want to see anybody injured. But his head came down hard. Either way, right now, what they're doing with these running backs, they're getting him out. They're getting them out in front to take care of the cornerbacks and these outside linebackers. If I'm North Branch, I'm telling my linebackers, hey, cheat up a little bit, go blow up that block, and then I'm telling the corners, hey, now you have to go and make a play on the running back, as we see Thody go in from 10 yards out.
Yeah, Thody with another touchdown.
So 30-8 is now the score, but on defense for North Branch, again, I'm telling the linebackers, you simply put, you're going to have to go up and blow up a play. Cornerbacks, you're going to have to step up and probably make a tackle you may not necessarily want to. And simply put, right now, Hutchinson is just being the more physical team.
Yeah, for most of the season, you're basically taught to not make negative plays. Right now, you have to flip that and say you need to make some positive plays, not just not make negative plays.
Renner is in for 2. Inside that Roddy Motors red zone they went and scored. Only 2 plays in the red zone there for the Hutchinson Tigers, but they do score after being in the Roddy Motors red zone. Roddy Motors in Mora, RODDYmotors.com. SUVs, pickups, sedans, maybe even a camper. Go ahead, talk to Joe at Roddy Motors in Mora and see what he's got on the lot now. 2:52 left in this first half on that Embrace Orthodontic scoreboard. Your Vikings trail 32-8. Stay tuned. At halftime, we'll bring you your Arrowhead Transit halftime. Arrowhead Transit, your community ride. For the Vikings on offense, obviously you would like to see one play go down, score. But is it more important for them to go down, score one play, or take off the rest of this clock? Even if you don't score, don't let Hutchinson's offense get back out on the field.
I think you're at the point where you just take what you can get. If you can score in one play, let's do it. But you have to kind of slow down this Hutchinson team. But your problem is really defensively. Thody with 14 carries for 89 yards and 3 touchdowns. That's been your problem so far.
DeMeyer will kick it off, and it's a little squib again. Ty Ellsworth will take it in one-handed. He's lucky that one didn't bounce around on him, but he takes it in, and they will have their best starting field position at their own 41-yard line. For the Vikings of North Branch, 2:51 to go. 87 total yards of offense, 33 passing, 54 rushing. They do have the 1 turnover via interception. Now, they do lead time of possession, they do have solid time possession, 9-12 to 11:56 of Hutchinson, so it's been pretty even despite the score being lopsided. Robillard under center in that power T formation. He'll take the snap, and it'll be a fake. They'll give it off to Carter Drill. Drill breaks off of one tackle, gets upended past the 50, but drives forward, and it's Carter Drill with the carry. Gets a first down for the North Branch Vikings from their 41 to the Hutchinson, looks like the 43.
Yeah, North Branch just needs something to go into the halftime locker room, something positive to go into the locker room.
So Carter Drill, a gain of 12 there. Again, here at US Bank Stadium, the Class 4A state semifinal. Vikings on the move. Vikings this time will give it back to Drill. He's trying to break. They give it up the middle, and what a run there!
Good sidestep.
Austin Anderson on the carry. Great fake there by the Vikings. They get it down to about the Hutchinson 32-yard line. Gain of 15 for Austin Anderson. And this is exactly what the Vikings needed.
Oh, absolutely.
Now, does the starting field position at all play into the way this drive has started, do you think?
It might. It very much might. It gave them the opportunity to really not need to throw the football.
They'll hand it off again to Austin Anderson. Steps over a defender, plows forward, and he's taken down near the 20. Another good run for Austin Anderson. This defense may have been out there a while, and these guys may be tired, but they ain't showing any signs of being tired at all. They are grinding.
3 runs, 3 first downs.
Brings Anderson down to the 22.
It's a gain of 10 for Austin Anderson. And all of a sudden, this North Branch offense is moving.
I don't want to throw away the rest of this first half, but North Branch will get the ball to start the second half as well.
There you go.
So maybe a 2-for-1 opportunity for the Vikings.
And that's what they got to be thinking right now. Clock. They do have all 3 timeouts with 1:20 to go, and I think we're going to get one here. So Hutchinson going to call their first timeout. Now, I was watching the clock, and it was rolling under 1:20, and I was like, oh, man, I'm thinking the North Branch might need to use one. And, again, power T offense, you're not once you get down inside the 20, believe it or not, it almost becomes bigger. We talk about the red zone shrinking for a lot of teams. For a power T offense, it might expand just because now you've got both sides of the field to work with, and you can really run a lot to that open side of the field.
You really can, and really 120, it doesn't seem like a lot of time, but down here, what do you have? 6 plays or so to do it. You don't have to pass the ball right now. You can, but you don't have to. So your playbook is pretty much wide open at this point.
It is second quarter. Hutchinson does call their first timeout of the half here at US Bank Stadium. Beautiful US Bank Stadium. We get to sit where the broadcasters sit. It's pretty cool. We got some complimentary popcorn and water. Of course, it's free to all, but
we really have a good vantage point of the football field as well. So you're able to see what the defense is showing.
It's up high enough to where you can see it all, but not too high to where you got to squint to see ants on the field. Robillard under center, first down and 10 at the 22 of Hutchinson. He'll take the snap, give it off to Drill again. He breaks off of one tackle, falling forward to about the 15. Be a gain of about 7 for Carter Drill.
There needs to be, you don't need to go no huddle or run or anything, but there does need to be a little bit of urgency right now.
Absolutely.
Just a little bit.
Jacob Tigan will check in for, can't see who's checking out, but Jacob Tigan will check in. A little bit of maybe a heavier package here for the North Branch Vikings. Tigan, that bowling ball type, 5'8", 200 pounds for the Vikings. Robillard under center at the 15, takes the snap, and he's going to keep it himself. He's got a little bit of an edge. Wow. What a tackle by the defender. Devontae Parker takes him down. And I would think if you're Vikings, you got to call a timeout here.
There was a lot of green.
There was, and I was about to say that he's gone.
He had a blocker too.
Yeah, that's why I thought he was gone. But I think what it was is Robillard wasn't up to full speed because he was waiting for his lineman to get out in front of him. I'm not picking on the lineman. I'm just simply saying I think that's why the defender had an opportunity to get to him the way he did. Didn't see how many he lost.
Looks like he lost about 2.
Maybe 2 on the play for Jacob Robillard. So a loss of 2. It'll be third down, and they say 5 on the scoreboard. So the Vikings do take their first time out with 33 seconds to go here in the first half before that halftime Embrace Orthodontics scoreboard. The Vikings trail 32-8 on that Embrace Orthodontics scoreboard. Your customized smile journey starts with a free consultation. The team over there at Embrace Orthodontics wants to make your journey as seamless and convenient as possible with custom Light Force braces or Invisalign clear aligners. Of course, they'll also do all the insurance heavy lifting for you. If you don't have insurance, ask about financing options. They'll find a plan to fit your budget at embracemn.com. Third down and 5, obviously 4 down territory. You have 2 timeouts left. Now it gets a little fishy.
Yes.
33 seconds to go, only 2 timeouts. Now what is the game plan here? Obviously going to be running the ball.
Yeah, I think you have to throw it unless there is something that you feel really good about, a draw play or something to that matter.
Robillard under center, power T formation. They'll run a little bit of a counter, and he's got room. He's in! Touchdown, Vikings! That's Austin Anderson from 17 yards out. And I talk about the fakes, and I'll talk about the fakes till the cows come home, because that is why Austin Anderson had nothing but green grass to run through.
And that was a giant drive for North Branch.
Austin Anderson, I mean, there was, he could run, Forrest, run. I mean, my goodness, there was nothing but green. Now, give him credit. He made a defender miss at the line of scrimmage to get to that green grass in front of him. But just great blocking, great fakes, everything there by that North Branch team. Now they do leave 28 seconds on the clock for Hutchinson, and we've seen they can score in that one play.
They can. They scored on an 64-yard touchdown pass to Renner.
Vikings will line up to go for 2. Robillard under center, power T formation. They'll fake it off the right side. They'll give it up here to Minke. He's got nowhere. And again, I don't mean to hound on it, but it just took too long to set up.
It did, and Hutchinson was able to catch up on the play.
So they were just outside that Rodney Motors red zone before they scored, but the Vikings do score. It's a drive that started on their own 41-yard line, so a 59-yard drive there for the North Branch Vikings.
Five plays. Didn't take long.
5 plays that gets them into the end zone, and it all started off.
6 plays.
6. Oh, okay.
I'm a liar.
Wow.
Yeah,
Can't believe it.
I'm sorry, everybody.
6 plays that spans 59 yards, and Carter Drill kind of sparked that drive with that first run that he had, of course, of 12 yards. Now you might say, well, it's only 12. Yeah, well, from your own 41, that puts you in already to your opponent's territory. That's a big play. Of course, the Vikings trail 32-14, 28 seconds on the board. Brody Beaver will get set to kick it away for North Branch. Now, if you're this Viking defense, do you put that safety over top and try and tell your defense, hey, I'm more worried about the pass here than I am the run game? Or are you telling them, hey, just play normal defense and we got to make a stop?
Oh, yeah, you try to stop the big play. Just 25 seconds left. Don't let anything behind you.
That return got Hutchinson, let's see, to looks like the 35-yard line. But again, we've seen this Hutchinson offense go one play 64 yards. Looks like they'll spot it at the 36. So, yeah, if I'm North Branch, I might have a safety back just in case. Looks like Roblard will be the deep man. And, well, Hutchinson, interestingly, is going to take a knee.
Yeah, they're just content with the 32-14 halftime lead.
But I mean, you go into halftime with this lead, but if North Branch goes down the field and scores, all of a sudden it's 11 points.
Right.
And North Branch, I'll tell you something, they're not necessarily, not comfortable with playing from down, but an 11-point game, especially right after the half, I think that might play in favor of the Vikings. We'll have to wait and see, but we are at the Arrowhead Transit halftime, your community ride. Then on that Embrace Orthodontics scoreboard here at half, it is the North Branch Vikings trailing the Hutchinson Tigers 32-14. Live from U.S. Bank Stadium, I'm Ethan Game Day Gilman, joined by Adam Hefty here on Nice 95.5 KBEK. We'll come back, we'll talk stats, we'll recap the first half, and then we'll get some more from our fine sponsors here at halftime. You're listening to State Football on KBEK.
Kettle River Pizza is a proud supporter of sports teams and community organizations. Local groups and teams across the state have had amazing success with Kettle River Pizza fundraising. From sausage and pepperoni to chicken Alfredo or the hot Hawaiian, the cheesy deliciousness practically sells itself. Visit KettleRiverPizza.com to schedule your next fundraiser. It's so easy to get started. Got a pizza craving now? Pick up a Kettle River Pizza at your local grocery store or convenience store today.
There has never been a better time to sell your home. Get a fast cash offer today and have your money in as little as 7 days. Any house, any condition. They will make you an offer the same day and pay you in as little as 7 days. City lots, lake lots, land, does not matter. They want to buy it. If you are ready to sell your home, let Haley Newman with Keller Williams Premier Realty give you a fast cash offer or help get you into the home of your dreams today. Contact her at 320-469-6868. A&W Restaurant Pine City is still making fresh root beer. That signature item since 1919. It's still made fresh and on site with real cane sugar and a blend of secret ingredients. It doesn't get any better than this. Their world-renowned A&W root beer is a classic treat, and they can top it off with creamy vanilla soft serve to be known as the famous A&W root beer float. Now that's smooth, tasty, and refreshing. An American iconic A&W root beer float. It never tasted so good. A&W Restaurant Pine City. Come grab your root beer float today.
Hey!
Take KBEK wherever you go. Download the new mobile app. It's free, and it's a game changer.
Automatic first down.
Joe and the gang at Roddy Motors say, "Go Mustangs!" Well, of course, he's got 2 boys on the varsity squad. He's born and raised in Mustang country, voted Reader's Choice Best Dealer in Kanabec County 2 years in a row. That's what you call a repeat champ. And he offers vehicles of all makes and models, can get you financed on site, and put you in your new vehicle before the Mustangs take on next week's opponent. When you need a quality new vehicle, make your way to Roddy Motors in Mora or visit roddymotors.com.
'Tis the season to share the joy of Wisconsin cheese. At Burnett Dairy Cooperative, they understand the importance of great cheese and take pride in their gift boxes. Burnett Dairy can customize gift boxes and include a nice note, and they can be shipped throughout all states except Hawaii. Who doesn't love cheese? This is the perfect gift for anyone. Order your cheese gift boxes online at shop.burnettdairy.com or give them a call 715-689-2748 for custom orders, and they can be shipped or picked up at the store.
Embrace Orthodontics offers a unique specialized approach to orthodontic treatment with custom braces or Invisalign. The team at Embrace loves getting to know their patients personally and takes the time to make sure all your questions are answered. Their board-certified orthodontists use only the latest in modern technology to give you the best outcome possible. They work with your insurance company and offer flexible financing options to fit your budget. Call today to set up your free exam and see how Embrace Orthodontics can transform your smile. More online at embracemn.com. That's embracemn.com.
Wellia Health is here to keep you feeling your best so you can enjoy all the things you love best. You can count on us for your eye exams, mental health services, rehabilitation, wellness exams, urgent care, and much more. At Wellia Health, our goal is to help you live life well. Let Wellia Health help you get back to your best. Give us a call today to set up an appointment. 320-679-1313. WelliaHealth.org.
Your journey to smile with your forever starts at Embrace Orthodontics. The team at Embrace is committed to providing world-class care and a remarkable orthodontic experience. Choose between custom Light Force braces or Invisalign clear aligners with locations in Pine City, Lindstrom, and Cambridge, and a plan to fit your budget, whether you have insurance or not. Embrace Orthodontics will make your smile journey comfortable, convenient, and customized just for you. Visit EmbraceMN.com today to find out how to set up your free exam. EmbraceMN.com. Embrace Orthodontics. A smile you will embrace forever.
Joe Keyport here, the news director for Q Media Group. Did you miss an interview of something local that was happening? Did you miss a conversation on the morning show? Make sure to check it out on the on-demand page at kbek.com and get the information you may have missed.
The holiday season is right around the corner. Share the joy of Wisconsin cheese from Burnett Dairy. They can provide you with cheese gift boxes that are perfect for your employees. So why not show your employees how much you appreciate their hard work and dedication with a gift that they're sure to love? Burnett Dairy Cheese. Order your employees' cheese gift boxes online at shop.burnettdairy.com or give them a call at 715-689-2748 for customer orders, and they can be shipped or picked up at the store.
Aw, man. Hinckley Collision.
Hell no. My new car?
Hinckley Collision is the right decision. Fender benders, major accident damage, or hail damage. Hinckley Collision is the right decision. With 24/7 towing and fast, friendly, professional service, their collision department will get you back on the road in no time. With decades of experience dealing with insurance carriers, make the call today. 320-384-7002. 320-384-7002.
Back here on 95.5 FM KBEK, Ethan Game Day Gilman joined alongside by Adam Hefty here at U.S. Bank Stadium, the home for tonight's Class 4A state semifinal game between the Hutchinson Tigers and your North Branch Vikings. On that Embrace Orthodontics scoreboard here at halftime, the Vikings trail 32-14. Embrace Orthodontics, the team over there, believes the results of a remarkable orthodontic experience should last a lifetime. They'll keep your smile transformation where it needs to be with a lifelong retention program at EmbraceMN.com. Here at the Arrowhead Transit halftime. Arrowhead Transit, your community ride. Adam, impressions of that first half?
I think Hutchinson is really good at running the football. Well, Both of these teams are very good at running the football, but Hutchinson did a little bit better. Just that one drive, that 16-play drive, just drilling it into the defense of North Branch. North Branch did a good job defensively on that drive, but Hutchinson still able to get into the end zone, and that seemed like a pretty big gut punch.
It really did, and unfortunately here for North Branch, it's been the long drives of Hutchinson that they've got them give North Branch credit, they've gotten Hutchinson into these third and short situations, but they have not been able to turn it into fourth downs. And I got to imagine for North Branch, if they can even turn half of those third downs into a fourth down. So let's just say those last two that they faced on their last drive before scoring, if they had one of those turn into a fourth down, I got to imagine that gives North Branch a little bit more confidence going forward, and that probably weighs on the mind of Hutchinson as the game goes forward as well.
Yeah, confidence is big, and also, like you said, it really kind of wears on Hutchinson. It makes them a little less confident, and it sort of makes them think about it, second-guess themselves, and really try to maybe overthink themselves. And as a defense, if you're the aggressor, you're in a good spot.
Absolutely, and right now, wise of running the ball, unfortunately, Hutchinson has just been so strong up front. They're doing a very good job up front, and we talk about line of scrimmage, you did, and how important that was going to be, and I think we see it right now that it is very important, and Hutchinson is controlling the line of scrimmage right now, and that's unfortunate here for North Branch because, yes, we talk about it, North Branch, a little bit of a smaller team, but they are athletic. They can get around those blocks, and we talk about how just sometimes willpower can simply beat the stronger team. But right now, Hutchinson is just kind of keying off, and I feel like that also has to do with the fact that it is Hutchinson just going on these long drives.
It is, and North Branch doesn't have the numbers or the size. There are ways to counter the size and numbers, but Hutchinson does a really good job of counteracting the counter. So they did a good job of just rolling down the field.
And for North Branch, we talked about it defensively, trying to figure out some ways to combat this Hutchinson offense. If I'm North Branch, do you at all think about maybe sending 10?
Yes, I absolutely do. You force Hutchinson to beat you over the top. They were able to do it once, but there's so many more things that can go wrong throwing the football than running the football.
And I got to imagine here, if you're both teams, for Hutchinson, you're probably going to keep it on the ground more than likely. For North Branch, though, you just mentioned it. You got to realize that, and I think you do start to send everybody at this point and just leave one. If they do, by just sheer happenstance, decide to throw, we got the one back there to protect. But I think you've got to send a lot, but then you've also got to play disciplined. And it's not that North Branch hasn't, but I think right now Hutchinson is just playing more disciplined with their fakes. Their offensive line is playing more cohesive. They're getting to their blocks and finishing blocks. And I think right now, just in a simple way, Hutchinson offense is just running a little bit better.
It is. 6.7 yards a rush versus North Branch's 5.7. Both are very good. Hutchinson's is just a little better.
And that 64-yard touchdown really changed things. You take away that 64-yard touchdown, make them go on a long drive. Who's to say that drive doesn't end a different way? Maybe it does. Maybe it certainly does. And maybe we're talking about North Branch not even on the board again, and it's still 32-8. But you got to imagine if that play doesn't happen, Hutchinson doesn't have the confidence they did going forward. Who knows how that drive would end, so we're not going to speculate. But that has to give North Branch a little bit more of an edge had that not happened.
Yeah, right now in the Hutchinson locker room, right or wrong, they think they are better than North Branch right now. And if those couple plays didn't go the way that they did, those thoughts could be a little more muddied. But right now, Hutchinson has the confidence, and North Branch really has to take it from them. Right now, North Branch is at the point where they can't let things happen to them. They have to go out and take it.
I've talked about it before. Sometimes you have to force yourself to get these things. Force yourself to win, because sometimes it just comes easy for some teams. I mean, we've seen it before in state terms. I mean, we were watching some of the scores, like Eden Valley Watkins beat Cannon Falls 42-24. St. Thomas Academy, after that first quarter, it went smooth as all could be for them. So sometimes you have to force things to go your way. That doesn't mean play recklessly, but sometimes you just have to simply force it to go your way.
And let's not forget, this is high school kids. Anything can happen.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anything
absolutely.
can happen.
I don't know how many years ago it was, but I remember a game, I think it was Maple Grove, who was down by 3 touchdowns. With 42 seconds left, they scored, recovered the onside kick, went down, scored, recovered the onside kick, went down, scored, and wound up winning the game. So there's no saying that couldn't happen here in this one for North Branch. And so everybody, you need to stay tuned. This game is far, far from over.
Right. And North Branch gets the ball to start the second half as well.
That's another good point as well. Looking at it statistically wise, 20 carries for 113 yards for the North Branch Vikings. For Hutchinson, 27 for 181. And leading the way there for Hutchinson was their running back, Nate Thody, 14 carries, 89 yards. Right behind him, though, was Carter Verhasselt with 8 carries for 72. On the other side for the North Branch Vikings leading the way, it was Austin Anderson, 6 for 46, but right behind him was Jacob Roblard, 6 for 42. Then Carter Drill carried the ball, 3 times for 21 yards. Of course, popped one off for 12. That put them into Hutchinson territory on the drive in which they scored right before half. Now, this is 3 games in a row for North Branch in which they have scored right before half, and it has seemingly worked in their favors these last 3 games. It goes back, not just 3, it's been 4. You go back to Grand Rapids, Hermantown, Benilde St. Margaret, and now Hutchinson, and they've won those last 3 games. Does that play at all into North? Is that something that Coach Voss is saying, hey, you realize what we just did again here in this game for the 4th game in a row? Let's go out and make a difference.
It does, but I think more importantly, with how well you were able to run the ball down the field in that last possession, I think that's even more important than the scoring itself. Like, hey, we can do this. We can run on this team. Let's continue that, and we'll see what happens.
And I know we've seen a couple times that North Branch was stopped on those drives, and all of a sudden you look at a drive like this last one that went 59 yards in 6 plays. What is the difference in those drives and where they go 3 and out, or the drive like this last one where it was 6 plays, 59 yards?
Outside of the points, it's the confidence. It's getting it to work, saying, hey, I just pancaked my guy, so why can't I do that all game?
Absolutely, and I think there is something to say with a team. First of all, experience. Experience is huge, especially when you get to the state tournament. I think that plays a huge factor. But for North Branch, I also think it goes to say that, hey, they've been in that situation before. Let's score before half, and they've gone down and they scored. Whether it's Grand Rapids, and they scored in 16 seconds. Whether it was Hermantown, they had over 2 minutes. Whether it was Benilde St. Margaret's, and again, they went down and scored before half. Or this game where they had over, I think it was 2 minutes, but yet they scored again before half. So there's something to say.
Yeah, 2:24.
Wow.
2:24 was the drive time.
Wow, that is quick. And again, for a Power T offense, you're normally not seeing them score so quick.
That's a best case scenario.
It really is. So we'll take a commercial break. We'll come back. We'll talk a little bit more about the first half. Then we'll kind of get our words on what we think North Branch needs to do here in the second half to get the victory here and move on to the championship game against Rocori. Back after word from our fine sponsors. You're listening to state semifinal football here on Nice 95.5 KBEK.
Are you interested in a technical degree that can quickly help you land your dream career? Or maybe you've always dreamed of going to a 4-year college, but you'd like to start close to home. Either way, Pine Technical and Community College has you covered. PTCC offers more than 50 degrees in hot fields like healthcare information technology, advanced manufacturing, and business. PTCC is now accepting applications. Financial aid may be available online at pine.edu. Starting out or starting over, find your future at Pine Technical and Community College.
Buy local, spend local. Those words mean something to us here in East Central Minnesota. Nice 95.5 is owned by a Minnesota company, Q Media Group. Yep, we're local too. If you're considering radio or digital advertising, we'd love to help you buy local and spend local. Advertising made for Minnesota, made in Minnesota. Connect with Nice 95.5 to spread your message. Info at q-mediagroup.com.
Back here on Nice 95.5 FM KBEK Game Day. Gilman joined alongside by Adam Hefty here at U.S. Bank Stadium, home of the Minnesota Vikings. The site for tonight's Class 4A state semifinal between the Hutchinson Tigers and the North Branch Vikings, who trail here at the half 32-14. But we're just about ready to start the second half of action, the third quarter, almost ready for that second half Kettle River Pizza kickoff. Of course, Kettle River Pizza, one of our fine sponsors. Appreciate them for hopping on and sponsoring this broadcast. Kettle River Pizza. If your team is looking for an easy way to raise funds for your organization, visit KettleRiverPizza.com. The easiest and cheesiest way to fundraise. Pepperoni and sausage, that's how you say it. Chicken Alfredo or the Hot Hawaiian. Grab a handful of delicious Kettle River pizzas at your local grocery store or convenience store today. Kettle River pizzas are handcrafted right there in Ascove.
Let me tell you, that Kettle River Pizza fundraiser, easiest fundraiser there is. Everybody likes pizza.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody. You're going to buy it anyway. You might as well give it to a good cause.
Exactly. And I mean, it's delicious. It's convenient. I mean, oh, yeah, that's a good point. It is a pretty easy way to.
Easiest fundraiser out there.
Pretty easy. So to begin this second half, or just about, I should say, what is something you're looking for from North Branch in order to come out of here with the victory?
I want them to score on this first drive, but outside of that, I want them to get a stop defensively. They have not yet stopped Hutchinson on the offensive side of the ball, so it'd be important to get that stop, not just for getting the ball back, but also moving forward towards the end of the game as well, knowing you can do it.
And I would agree with that. I would agree 100% on that. That, yes, I think North Branch does need to score here on this first drive, especially coming out of half. They do need to make a stop. And obviously, these two teams are probably going to keep scoring.
Yeah.
From what we've seen in the first half. But if you're North Branch, that one stop could totally change the outlook of this game. I mean, if they go down and score, it's an 11-point game. If they make a stop and are able to score, all of a sudden it's a 4-point game. Mm-hmm. And now you've got Hutchinson on the ropes.
Right. And then you got the point where they're questioning themselves. We saw that in the last game with Alexandria, where it was at one point it was 30-23, but that was when St. Thomas Academy had scored 30 straight points, and it felt so far out of reach when Alexandria had the ball, and we're like, it's just a one-score game, but it seems so bad.
It really did, and I think that really could, and I think we would see a little bit more passing from Hutchinson if that were the case. Obviously, that's the best case scenario for North Branch right now. Then they would have the task of covering the pass, which they can do. But we're just about ready to begin the third quarter of play here at the state semifinal here for Class 4A between the Hutchinson Tigers and your North Branch Vikings. Hutchinson is going to come out and kick to, I believe that would be the west end zone. So North Branch will be looking to score in the east end zone as we begin the second half of play. I want to thank all of you for tuning in tonight. Thanks so much to all of our fine sponsors as well. Thanks to Adam Hefty for joining me. Of course, here at U.S. Bank Stadium, I'm Ethan Game Day Gilman, broadcasting live on 95.5 FM KBEK. And getting set to kick it away is William DeBeyer. He's a tight end, a linebacker, and a kicker. He does it all for the Hutchinson Tigers, and believe it or not, he is only a sophomore. So he'll be back next year for him. The left-footed boot is away, and that's going to go out of bounds, maybe? Yes. Took a while.
Yep.
But it finally went out.
So that'll give North Branch some good field position to start their next drive.
And that'll be good for North Branch to do, because we've seen what they did last time with good field position. They obviously went down the field in 6 plays and scored quickly. Now, obviously we want them to score. Let's just say they score. Is it more important for them to score quickly here, or do they just go with a normal North Branch drive that is 10 to 12 plays, 5-6 minutes off the clock?
I don't think it really matters. I think you just take what you can get at this point. Just scoring is so important right now. I think more important than offensively is defensively.
Yes. So the first drive has begun. Robillard under center, 35-yard line. Takes the snap, and he'll give it right up the middle. No, he'll keep it himself. And there's one of the problems that I seen in the first half we didn't really get to touch on, but he broke a few tackles and managed to get all yard after 47 yards.
That was the longest 1-yard run I've ever seen.
Wow, Robillard fought hard for that 1 yard, though. Give him credit. But that's one thing that I seen is a lot of times they would get that blocker outside. So it's the running back, and it's Minky and Tigan out there. But Robillard would, instead of cutting it upfield, he would bounce it outside. How important is it for now this North Branch offense to realize, hey, you're going to have to start cutting it up the field instead of outside, because Hutchinson has done a good job of covering the outside runs.
Well, at North Branch on that first scoring drive that they had, a lot of it was on the outside as well. So Hutchinson seems to be sewing it up.
They'll give it up the middle. This time Austin Anderson goes absolutely nowhere. Back to the line of scrimmage. No gain, and it's 3rd down and 9 for the Vikings. Not the start to the second half that you could have asked for if you're the Vikings. But as we've seen there in that first half and throughout the season for North Branch, if you're a North Branch faithful, they are okay with going and converting these 3rd and longs.
Right.
So if you're North Branch, you've got that level of, I can't think of a better word, so I'll use the word comfort, but that's not the word I'm looking for, as you're certainly not comfortable in 3rd down and 9. Robillard under center at the 36-yard line. Power T formation. He takes the snap. He's going to keep it himself. He's got it up the middle. Now bounces outside to the 40. He cuts it up to the 45, to the 46, to the 47. That's where he's taken down. And
that's going to be a 1st down.
No. No
They're calling it a fumble. Well, one official saying he was down.
Well, they're going to review. They will review. They're going to review it. I believe they do review turnovers. And that's, if you haven't, they have to review it, I believe. Come on, you got to review that. Well, if you're new to the state tournament, they can review plays at the state tournament here at U.S. Bank Stadium. We're watching the play, and
yep, that's a fumble.
That is out, sadly. I'm going to make the case that he was down anyways. Even though I can see it right in front of my eyes, I'm going to argue he wasn't. Or he was, excuse me. Oh, man. Yeah, he wasn't down, sadly, so that'll be their 2nd turnover. And that is, I don't want to say it, but detrimental, because he got the 1st down.
He did get the 1st down.
Dang.
Good tackle getting the hand on the ball.
Now it's Thody to the outside, and he's, well, per usual, picking up about 9-10 yards. That one's going to be 10.
Yeah, it was a first down run from Thody. Getting close to the century mark.
10 yards. He's 1 yard away now on 15 carries. And it just seems like right now Hutchinson is okay with running that off tackle with Thody. They're getting the blocks they need, and North Branch right now, we're not picking on them, but they just haven't been able to get off the blocks.
That offensive line has been superstars for Hutchinson.
And Thody makes a man miss, gets swung down inside the 25 to about the 23.
Yep, so another first down run.
Mark near the 24. First down, Tigers.
And right now, I don't even think they're going to give it to anyone else besides Thody.
I wouldn't. He's been running so hard. He's been running so strong.
You know what's interesting about him, though? He does not run that low. He's a pretty up and down runner. And
he's tall.
He is. So if you're North Branch, I think right now, and we talk about being the low man wins, I think North Branch simply, and it's a lot easier said than done, but just needs to be lower than Hutchinson's lowest at this point. This time they will give it up for Hasselt. So don't listen to what we say.
Another first down. So 3 runs, 3 first downs.
For Hasselt, gets it to about the 13, I believe. It'll be a gain of 12. And another first down, as Adam Hefty said, but not the greatest thing there, as it was a turnover, a Haley Newman of Keller Williams Realty turnover. Want to know the value of your property? Contact Haley Newman at HNEWMAN@KW.com. Turning over the keys to your dream property, Haley Newman with Keller Williams. They are inside the Roddy Motors red zone. Our Hutchinson, and they will take the snap, give it to Thody. He's got a lane. He's into the end zone. Not quite yet. He's close. He's at the 2.
So it's going to be first and goal at the 2.
To the 11.
5 runs, 5 first downs.
He was that lane that he had to run through was, I thought he was in. Good job by North Branch to make the stop, but it's first down and goal.
They're hanging in there. They're pursuing the tackle.
They are. Roddy Motors red zone. Joe Rademacher of Roddy Motors is a United States Marine. So if you're a veteran looking for a new vehicle, go talk to a fellow vet who will get you squared away. Ball spotted at the 2 here for Hutchinson with 8:05 left to go here in the third. Butler under center, and he'll give it up to Verhasselt. He's in from 2 yards out.
This second half has been perfect for Hutchinson. This is exactly what they wanted to do to start this second half.
And it really sucks if you're a North Branch fan because, my goodness, it didn't look good.
No.
3rd and 9, then all of a sudden your quarterback pops one off for about 12 yards, and unfortunately the fumble. So now you're going to be talking to the offense and saying, hey, it doesn't matter where you're at, 2 hands on the ball, got to hold on to it because that was their chance. And it's not even close to over, folks. Don't get me wrong, but it makes it a lot tougher. And Renner, yet another, what is that, his 4th, 5th 2-point conversion here tonight? My goodness. 40-14 is the score, North Branch. Again, this one's far from over. I mean, this could really be spun on top of its head in a hurry. North Branch could return this kick for 6, get the 2-point. They could do that onside kick that I had talked about. They could go and score off of that, and all of a sudden it's 28-40. You're down by 12. That's two scores. I mean, that would really turn it.
Then it's in shooting distance.
It really is. So North Branch has some work to do, but let's see if they can't get it done here as they trail 40-14 on that Embrace Orthodontics scoreboard. Embrace Orthodontics, custom light force braces or Invisalign clear aligners with 3 locations, Pine City, Lynchburg, and Cambridge. Of course, their doctors are committed to providing world-class orthodontic care in a friendly and comfortable atmosphere. You can start today at embracemn.com. So hold on to the ball and try and score here if you're North Branch.
Now they have to score quickly because possessions are at a premium. They have been all game, but
yes,
especially now.
So getting set to kick this one away for a Hutchinson is DeMeyer. And there's the left-footed boot. It's going to roll and roll and roll and be taken in at the 26. Almost like a catcher blocking a ball from rolling behind him. He takes it in at they're going to call it the 27. So it'll be the 27-yard line where the North Branch Vikings will take over. Better be careful saying that here because if you're a fan listening from you and we're at US Bank Stadium, you might be thinking, oh, they're covering a Viking game? No. No. I promise, it's North Branch.
I wouldn't do that.
Well, yeah, you would, but not even if Green Bay was here?
Yeah, I would. I mean, let's be honest.
I still have yet to go to Lambeau, but, man, I can't wait till the day I get to go.
I have been there, a preseason game, but
hey, it's better than not.
Oh yeah.
So the start for the drive for North Branch will be a 3-yard carry to the 30-yard line for Carter Drill. Absolutely love that name. I will never.
Hall of Fame name?
Yes. Oh, they're going to give him a yard extra, so it'll be a 4-yard gain.
So a decent run.
Mm-hmm. So North Branch will have 2nd down and 6, 7:30 to go here in the 3rd quarter. North Branch trails 40-14 on that Embrace Orthodontics scoreboard. Break the huddle quickly and get up to the line. Power T formation, Robillard under center. Robillard takes the snap. He'll give it off the left side to Tigan. Tigan breaks off a 1 tackle, breaks off another, but then is spun down after maybe a gain of 2. And it'll be 3rd down and 4. Decent carry there for Tigan. He bounced off a tackle, but again, it just seems like these plays seem to take a little too long to develop for the Vikings.
It does, and it almost looked like Tigan could have had some room on the outside, but he cut it up inside instead. It might not have made much difference, but.
So here come the Vikings, 3rd down, and they're going to call it 3 here on the scoreboard. It'll be a fake one way and then a give the other, and the ball's on the ground.
And another turnover by North Branch. We were talking about turnovers in the pregame. Now North Branch is -3 in the turnover department.
I believe that was Carter Drill who coughed it up. That is, well, simply put, the exact opposite. Yeah, he had that ball away from his body. Not too hard to knock it out. You gotta, if you have the ball in your hands, if you're North Branch, you're just gonna have to start carrying it like an old school fullback, head down, 2 hands on the football, and not worry about getting speed, because all of a sudden now the turnovers, as you heard Adam mention, are a problem.
And Thody with the recovery. He's just been a thorn in North Branch's side.
It'll be a toss to him off the right side of the line. Makes a cutback move to the middle of the field. Gets past the 35 to about the 34. It'll be a gain of 6 there for Nate Thody, and he's up over 100 yards. Roski makes the stop for North Branch.
What makes it even more tough is they were both on 1st down runs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a very good point. Is they had the 1st down with both of those runs, and then they now have turned them over. Now, if you're North Branch, you got to get something to go your way here. Do you at all start maybe going for the ball?
Oh, yeah, absolutely, especially if you have a gang tackle. Hutchinson's coach is saying, hey, hang on to the football like a fullback.
There it goes for Hasseltz to the 10, to the 5. That's where he's taken down by Brody Beaver. It's a gain of 23 yards for Hasselt. So a big run there for Hasselt, and simply put, just a good run. He broke off of 1 arm tackle, then was off to the races. Brody Beaver did a good job of catching up to him. That's about the spot where he got the horse collar tackle on for Hasselt the last time. This time you could see him. He went up high and then decided, okay, I'll get a little bit closer, then wrapped him up at the waist. 1st down and goal inside that Roddy Motors red zone now for the Hutchinson Tigers. They'll give it off this time to Renner. He's in, walking in. It's a Hutchinson touchdown to Renner from 5 yards out. So Charles Renner, a 5-yard touchdown to make it 46-14.
Renner with his 2nd touchdown. This is his 1st rushing touchdown. He did catch that 64-yard pass in the 1st half.
That was inside the Roddy Motors red zone. Roddy Motors can help you get into your next vehicle. They can even get you financed. Visit RoddyMotors.com today. They will go for 2. And a lot of times you see these teams go for 2. It's not to add insult to injury or anything, late in games or anything, but it's simply put because they may not have a field goal kicker. Renner, another 2-point conversion. It's 48-14. So your Vikings trail by 34 here, but they still got 5:34 to go in the third quarter on that Embrace Orthodontics scoreboard. Your customized smile journey starts with that free consultation. The team over there at Embrace wants to make your journey as seamless and convenient as possible with custom Life Force braces or Invisalign clear aligners. They'll also do all the insurance heavy lifting for you. If you don't have insurance, ask about financing options. They'll find a plan to fit your budget at EmbraceMN.com. 2 turnovers here in the second half that have led to points for Hutchinson. So 2 turnovers, 16 points for the Hutchinson Tigers. And what was a promising third down conversion for the North Branch Vikings on their first drive led to a fumble that turned into points for Hutchinson. And I'm not saying that if they do convert that or hold on to the ball on that third down on their first drive that they go down and score.
Right.
But who's to say that they don't with the way their offense has been rolling?
Exactly. They've been able to run the ball relatively well, 137 yards. That's not bad against a good Hutchinson defense.
It's going to be another more or less squib kick, and can't take it in cleanly, but he picks it up at around the 20, and he's belted past the 25 at around the 27, and that's where he'll be taken down on the return. And we'll see where they officially Toussaint on the return.
So I wonder if North Branch is going to start chucking the ball around a little bit, but that's a win for Hutchinson because you're forcing North Branch into doing something they're really not comfortable doing.
Absolutely, and from North Branch, though, you start on your own 29-yard line, but I think the biggest thing here is get a first down without, and it might seem silly to some people to say this, but get a first down without fumbling.
Right. The past two drives, they've had first down runs that have been fumbles.
They will run the counter that we talked about in that first half, and doesn't work out the way they would have liked to as Tigan takes it, and he did pick up a yard to actually they'll give him 2 to the 31. So Tigan on the carry. They did run that counter, and oh no, we have an injury here for North Branch, and it's one of their old linemen. I can't see who it is. I believe it may have been. I'm not sure. So we're not going to speculate. We'll take a quick commercial break. You're listening to State Football on KBEK.
Hinckley Towing.
Hi, I'm on the side of the highway with a flat. Can you help me?
On the way.
Hinckley Towing?
Yep. How can we help?
We just had an accident and don't know where to bring the vehicle.
No sweat. We'll come out now and bring you back to our collision center.
Hinckley Towing. Experienced drivers, state-of-the-art trucks, and 24/7 service. For Hinckley Towing, call 320-385-4049 anytime. Hinckley Towing, 320-385-4049 anytime.
Austin Reynolds, the injured North Branch Viking, he was able to get up under his own power and limp off, but he does look like he hurt a lower leg. We're not going to speculate. We just hope that he is okay. Never want to see anybody hurt, especially at the state tournament. So it'll be second down and 8 to go here for the Vikings. It'll be a little bit messed up there. I don't know if that was maybe a botched play, but Robillard will take it forward maybe for another couple yards for the Vikings to about the 34-yard line. Call it a gain of 2. Then it'll be third down and 6 as Robillard heads to the sideline to get the play call from his offensive coordinator, and then he'll jog back out into the offensive huddle and call the play. And again, you want to get something going. Get this first down without fumbling. If you don't, is this 4-down territory at this point?
At this point, I think so. 34-point deficit. You're at desperate mode right now.
And Robillard, good fake. He's got room. Hold on to the ball, please. He does. You can see Hutchinson whapping at it, and I think Robillard taking down a little bit hard there, but he holds on to it. He even holds on to it, stands up and gives it to the ref. He says, I am not letting go of this one. Great run, great fake there by that North Branch team, and they pick up 16 because of it. Robillard, a 16-yard gain on 3rd and 6.
North Branch 3 for 8 on on third down. Hutchinson 4 for 4.
So 60% on the season here for North Branch. Not quite there tonight, but they'll fake to give. It'll be Robillard again. Breaks off an ankle tackle and then falls past the 50, taken down at around the 48. It's a gain of about 3 or 4.
Robillard's slippery.
He is very slippery, And it's interesting because on the fakes, he'll hold that ball on his hip pocket, until he gets into the open field. And it's very hard to hold on to the ball when you've got when you're carrying it like that, carrying out the fakes, but he does a good job. Gain of 3 officially for Robillard, back under center, 2nd down and 7. Robillard takes the snap. Everyone has it. Austin Anderson will wind up with it, and he goes maybe, doesn't look like he got anything. Austin Anderson does get the carry, but he does not gain anything.
So the winner of this one will go on to face Ricori in the final.
They will look like they give Anderson a yard. And that final will take place next week. I can't believe they have it around that Thanksgiving mark, but they do. It'll be on the 24th, the day after Thanksgiving, so they can't eat too much at Thanksgiving dinner. It'll be 3rd down and 6 for the Vikings. Robillard under center, power T formation. Robillard takes the snap, and he'll give it off to Tigan off the left side of the line. He's got some room to the outside. He bounces it upfield. He's got the first. He'll gain. Ooh, that's not a great. Oh, my goodness, that's a terrible spot. They got him at the 41.
The first down.
Ooh, I apologize, but that was just not a good spot for that ball. It's a gain of 6, but he was closer out to the 40-yard line. Looked like he had that ball at, but either way, it is a first down, so you can't complain. Clock will stop with 2:31 to go here in the 3rd quarter. Vikings trail 48-14 on that Embrace Orthodontic scoreboard. The team over there believes the results of a remarkable orthodontic experience should last a lifetime. They'll keep your smile transformation where it needs to be with a lifelong retention program. 1st down and 10 at the 41. Robillard back under center. Robillard will take the snap. He'll give it off the right side of the line, then cuts it back up the field. Does the ball carrier to the 40. It'll be a gain of 1 that time for Carter Drill.
If you think about it, North Branch has converted 4 of their last 4 third downs if you don't count fumbles.
Yeah, they have, and it's been unfortunate, those turnovers. I mean, turnovers at any point are unfortunate, but 3 here in this one, have led to 21 points. I mean, imagine taking 21 points off the board right now, 14-27. That would be a massive difference, but can't change the past. So North Branch will look to the future and try and score here before the end of the 3rd. Robillard under center, 2nd down and 9. And it'll be a fake. It looks like Robillard will have the option to keep it. He will. To the 35, to the 30. Cuts back at the 30. To the 25. He's spun down.
Didn't need a 3rd down that drive. That set it out.
They did not. It might be at the 26, but either way, it's a 1st down and a gain of 14 for Robillard. And it'll be 1st down and 10, just outside the red zone.
Robillard, 12 rushes for 88 yards.
He's had a night for himself. And that's the thing with this North Branch offense is you just don't know who's going to hold on to the ball because it can go 4 different ways. You got 3 running backs back there who could take it, or the quarterback himself. Speaking of, quarterback will take it. He'll give it up to Anderson, past the 20 to the 15.
Anderson to the 14.
He'll actually call it the 14. It'll be a gain of 12 there for Austin Anderson and a new set of downs. And, oh, no. He took his helmet. Oh, man. I believe that's Joey Donahue. He got rolled up on at the end of the play. Oh, no. Back after this commercial break.
Dale's Heating and Appliance, your local heating and appliance expert, is committed to making your family's comfort their top priority. And now you can add water softeners to their list of expertise. Dale's now offers water softener sales or rentals along with installation, service, and salt delivery. So if your home needs quality water, make the call to your already trusted experts at Dale's, or just visit dalesheatingandappliance.com. dalesheatingandappliance.com.
Kettle River Pizza loves supporting all the local teams. And if your team is interested in fundraising, well, they've got you covered. Kettle River Pizza has years of experience in fundraising for local teams, organizations, and clubs, and they would like to help you too. With their experience and the fact that Kettle River Pizza is an easy sell, your fundraiser is bound to be a great success. Visit Kettle River Pizza online and click on their fundraising tab. Kettle River Pizza, a winner every time. Grab a few at your local convenience or grocery store for after the game.
And it was Joey Donahue who was injured on the play. He will get some assistance off the field. We wish him nothing but the best. We hope that he is not seriously injured. We hope that he is, even able to work back into this game. Joey Donahue gets to the sideline. He's trying to walk it off, trying to tough it out, but he got rolled up on at the end of that play. It didn't look pretty. We're not going to speculate, though. First down and 10 for the Vikings at the 14 of Hutchinson. And before that injury, I was going to say, as soon as the Vikings cross that 50, once they get inside about the 35, it looks like Hutchinson's defense almost falls apart.
Right, and it almost looks like, wide open.
He got it! Touchdown! Vikings!
Minky with his second touchdown reception tonight.
Pardon the interruption, but a beautiful play there from Robillard to Minky. From 14 yards out, it's a touchdown through the air. Can you believe it? They've got more passing touchdowns than they do rushing touchdowns, do the Vikings. That'll make it 48-20. And man, Thody was there again, but good job by Minky holding on to that ball by himself. Minky and Thody about the same size. That's a good matchup. So Vikings will obviously go for 2. Power T formation. Robillard under center. He's going to give it off to Minky, and he is. Oh, he's in. He rolled in. What?
No, he did
my
roll,
goodness.
but it almost looked like it was a half yard short.
I thought he had rolled in. It looked close. Maybe we'll get a replay here on the scoreboard here, at the video board rather, because on that Embrace Orthodontics scoreboard, it's 48-20 in favor of the Tigers. He looked close, but I think you're right. He was about a half yard short when he rolled, but getting some replays up there of this drive. And a good drive there for North Branch. Maybe not the drive you're looking for. It did end in points, but it took a lot of time off the clock.
It did. Let's take a look at this drive summary. So
for
10 plays, 440.
440. And again, they score on a passing play to Minky, and good job holding on to that ball, because there's not a lot of receivers, running backs, whatever you want to call it, that can hold on to a ball like that, being hit like that. So good job by him holding on to that ball. But 48-20, and the Vikings will get set to boot it away. I got to imagine it's going to be more of that squib onside type of kick here for Brody Beaver. So hands team for Hutchinson is ready.
Yeah, they need to get the ball back.
They will go for the onside, and I believe that is for Hasselt, who has it. So they tried, could not grab it.
Good onside kick, though.
It was a really good onside kick.
I'm always in awe of players who are able to gather in onside kicks. Footballs are famously unround.
Yes. But, yeah, that one
and
just
spin in all funky directions.
Didn't quite have the bounce for North Branch to grab it. I mean, you look at the time of possession, it's even. 19:46 for Hutchinson, 19:27 for North Branch. You look at that alone, you're going, wow, this was a close game. It was a defensive game, 20, points might have been scored total. Well, unfortunately, that is not the case here tonight.
A couple plays going another way would turn this ball game very differently.
Guess who? It's Thody on the carry. Got it to the 45 of North Branch. It'll be a gain of 6. And it'll be second down and 4.
Thody has 134 yards on 19 carries.
He has been doing a very good job running the ball, and the play clock hasn't started, which is interesting. And I think that's because the third quarter can run out without that play clock going, it looks like. That's what I'm going to assume. So that'll be the end of the third quarter here at U.S. Bank Stadium, the home of the Minnesota Vikings, for this Class 4A state semifinal between the Hutchinson Tigers and your North Branch Vikings. North Branch trails on that scoreboard 48-20. We'll take commercial break here. Word from our fine sponsors. Then we'll be back for the fourth and final quarter of play. You're listening to State Football here on Nice 95.5 KBEK.
More customers, more name recognition, more employees, more market share. If you'd like a little more for your business, it's time to start digital advertising. Did you know that the average person spends 4.5 hours per day on their smartphone? It's time for you to start reaching them. Streaming TV, SEO or SEM, display ads, and email marketing. If your business could use a little more, Contact us now and we can help. info@q-mediagroup.com. Want to make some extra money this holiday season? Then join Burnett Dairy Cooperative's Cheese Store Holiday Crew. They're looking for temporary employees to assist with gift box orders from October 1st through January 6th. This position is scheduled Sunday through Thursday from 12 to 8 p.m. with an hourly rate of $14 per hour and an end-of-the-season retention bonus. Call 715-689-2170 or apply online at burnettdairy.com and click on Careers.
Back here for the start of the fourth quarter, and the carry by Verhasselt goes up the middle. It'll be a first down there for Verhasselt, and that clock will run. Now all of a sudden, clock becomes the enemy of the North Branch Vikings. 6 yards on that last carry for Verhasselt. And the third possession here for the Hutchinson Tigers in this half. 3 each so far, as the Tigers will line up at the Viking 39-yard line. They do bring the house on the toss play, but Thody will make them pay.
Thody is such a good running back. He was able to find the open spot on the field.
It's a gain of 14 there for Thody. And again, the North Branch Vikings brought the blitz, and Tigan got home. But it's just unfortunately a better play call there by Hutchinson.
Yep.
They gave him a little bit of a pop there at the end. Nice tackle by the Vikings, but it'll be a new set of downs here for the Hutchinson Tigers. I formation once again. It'll be Renner lining up almost as a tight end, but as a receiver. Butler gives it off up the middle to Thody. Why not? This time he's held for probably his shortest gain of the afternoon.
Yeah, I would be surprised if they throw the football again. Butler's only had to throw the ball once.
Yeah, he hasn't had to throw much.
With just 10.5 left to go and a 28-point lead, I don't see Hutchinson throwing the ball again.
Well, and their offense runs the ball so well, and each and every time it seems like North Branch just unfortunately can't make a stop.
Right.
But if you're North Branch, making a stop here or getting a turnover would be huge.
Yes.
So if I'm the Vikings, I'm still sending 10, and I'm telling them, rip at the ball. Worry about this tackle second, just gang tackle, and then rip at that ball. This time they will give it off. You bet it's Thody.
Close to another first down. They're going to mark him about a yard shy.
Ooh, that's not a great spot. And it looks like we might actually even get a measurement. Nope, they're going to move the chains.
What? Huh?
All right. Gain of 7 for Thody, apparently.
I mean,
all right.
Huh.
Generous. But either way, it'll be a new set of down.
The spot was bad.
And
he probably was close to a first down, but.
All right.
Strange.
Well, Hutchinson has a new set of downs. All you can do is laugh and hope that North Branch can make a stop here, get the ball turned over, and they will bring the house. They go up the middle, and he is stuffed in the backfield that time. The ball carrier was Verhasselt, and the Vikings make a big stop that time, and that is exactly what they need to do. But, and this is a pretty big one too, the worry you have is Hutchinson had about 3 players on the far side of the field away from that play, and if that was a toss play, I mean, you can walk in, do a little bit of a dance. I mean, go grocery shopping if you need. Go take a potty break, and then you can walk yourself into the end zone. I mean, there was no one over there, unfortunately, for North Branch, but that's the risk you run.
Well, yeah, at this point, you're taking those gambles.
I think if you're North Branch, though, you spread out your linebackers a little bit, still bring that pressure, but just off the edge a little bit further, and then they jump. So Hutchinson went with the hard count there and got North Branch to jump. It'll be a free 5 yards for the Hutchinson Tigers. It is the first penalty of this second half for North Branch, so that's nice to see, but it is a tough one. Second down and 5 after you stop them on first down, that hurts.
Yeah, and in high school football, offsides is a dead ball foul.
Mm-hmm.
Not if you get back, you can.
Right. Which kind of sucks because there's a lot of times where the offsides is so quick for one team. They get back onside so quick, and I'm like, oh, come on. Yeah, just let it go. But it is a dead ball foul, and clock will continue to run. 8:10 to go here in this fourth and final quarter on that Embrace Orthodontics scoreboard. Of course, now Hutchinson is in the Roddy Motors red zone at the 11-yard line. Roddy Motors in Mora, voted best dealer in Kanabec County 2 years in a row. Roddy Motors, 100 Pine Street, Mora. They will run the toss to Thody.
Good open field tackle.
That's a really good open field tackle there by the Vikings. And he only picks up 3 to the 8-yard line. Emma with the tackle, so good tackle there, and now all of a sudden it's 3rd and 2. North Branch has a chance to make a stop. I can't imagine Hutchinson wouldn't go for it, but still a chance for North Branch to make a stop on 3rd down. That would give a ton of confidence to this Viking defense.
Well, Hutchinson is a perfect 4 for 4 on 3rd down, so North Branch has to stop that momentum.
3rd down and 2. North Branch trying to make a stop. Ball at the Viking 8-yard line. Fumble! And Butler got back on top of it, but at the 11.
Yep, so that's going to move them back. With no kicker that they really feel comfortable with, they're going to go for this. Because you're not going to punt it from the 11-yard line.
Well, why not? I mean, coffin corner that thing inside the 1. So
wouldn't that be something?
That would.
I would tell my children about that.
That would be
a story.
I mean, Pat McAfee would have to have that on his show. I mean, Pat McAfee would have to pay whoever punted it a visit. I mean, because that would be, wow. I mean, coffin corner is hard enough, but from the 11?
That's some punter love right there.
Oh yeah. Looks like we'll have a Hutchinson timeout here in the fourth quarter. 6:31 to go. They want to discuss what they want to do here on this 4th down. So North Branch technically makes a stop here on 3rd down. They back them up due to the fumble, about 3 yards. Make it 4th down and 5 from the 11 on that Embrace Orthodontics scoreboard. Embrace Orthodontics, custom light force braces or aligners. Pine City, Lindstrom, and Cambridge. Of course, their doctors are committed to providing world-class orthodontic care in a friendly, comfortable atmosphere. They'll also leave you with a smile you'll embrace forever. Find out more at embracemn.com. Of course, that Cambridge location is brand new. They've got a brand new building there in between the Starbucks and Caribou. Don't ask me. I don't know the difference. I don't know which one is which, so I can't tell you. But they're coffee. That's all I know. North Branch here, clock is a factor. They're down by 4 touchdowns and extra points. And again, 6:31 to go. It's the state tournament. You just never know what's going to happen.
Yeah, crazier things have happened. State tournament, NCAA tournament.
Oh, my goodness. Speaking of that, I mean, college basketball is underway, and I already heard.
So excited.
I already heard someone talk about March Madness. I was like, whoa, please slow down. I'm not even ready. They'll send a man in motion with Hutchinson on this 4th down attempt. They'll toss it out wide here to Verhassel. Oh, my. It's a walk-in touchdown. I think that's Thody. Excuse me, not Verhassel, that's Thody. And obviously I'm not going to say it's over, but that goes a long ways in helping Hutchinson. So that will make it 54-20.
Thody's 4th touchdown.
Still 4 touchdowns. That is quite impressive. He wasn't even their leading rusher touchdown-wise coming into this one. It was Verhasselt with 18. I mean, now he has 15, so he's closing in, but man.
That'd be a tough get.
Oh, my goodness.
That'd be a tough get tonight.
Butler under center, and he'll give it off to Renner. Renner's just going to score all the 2-point conversions here tonight. Wow. 56-20 is the Tigers' lead on that Embrace Orthodontics scoreboard. Your customized smile journey will start with that free consultation. The team at Embrace wants to make your journey as seamless and convenient as possible with custom Light Force braces or Invisalign clear aligners. So now you've got 6.5 minutes to go. You're down by 36. Again, it's far from over. And who are we to say that North Branch doesn't come back and score 38 in a row and win this 58-56?
That would be a story.
It certainly would, but I mean, it is a state tournament.
Yeah, 6.5 minutes left.
I mean, it's very unlikely, very, very unlikely. But who are we to say that that doesn't happen here in this one? Looks like Hutchinson is ready to kick it off. North Branch not quite ready though. North Branch gets out there. Stay tuned. We'll have your post-game show coming up after the final whistle blows here in this state semifinal for Class 4A at U.S. Bank Stadium. Beautiful stadium. We're up here in the press area. It's a beautiful area, by the way. Beautiful press area.
Open air.
Yeah, it's very. That's what's really nice is you get the entire view. You're not obscured by anything. This one will roll. It will roll. It's not going to roll out of bounds. That's what he was hoping for. He'll pick it up at the 14 to the 15. Cuts it back at the 16, and then he's, wrapped up. Looks like we might get a face mask. Oh, it hit a player. Wow. The referee was pretty.
What an arm.
Yeah, that's he want to play shortstop for anybody? I mean, my goodness. I mean, he threw that flag from the goal line and hit the North Branch player in the shoulder.
Caught stealing.
So there's the call, illegal block in the back on North Branch, and when it rains, it pours. So this will be the 5th drive for North Branch here to start this second half, or in the second half, rather. 6:20 to go, and because of the block in the back penalty, they'll start inside their own 10. North Branch will start with the ball at their own 8-yard line. Apparently it's past my bedtime. 56-20, they trail. They'll give to Robillard. He'll keep it, trying to find some room to run, but they do a good job stringing him out, and almost a late hit there. Probably even could have called him for it, but got it to the 10, a gain of 2. Now, that defender really didn't need to make that push that he did. I understand why he was doing it, but at that point, he's going out of bounds. Really don't need to make that push on him. That's almost dangerous in that case, but it will stop the clock. Okay, it won't stop the clock.
Yeah, I think it's running time at this point.
Oh, yep, you are correct. It is 35 points. I apologize. It is 35 points, so yes, that is right. It is going to be running clock. So into the game, I forgot about it. So we will have running clock. Again, thanks to Adam Hefty for keeping me up to date on the, the rules of the game. So out at the 10, and the clock will run 5.5 minutes. Robillard, and that no one knows there. Austin Anderson will keep it up to the 15, past the 15, breaking off another tackle to about the 18-yard line. Anderson, a gain of 8 for the Vikings.
Anderson was 67 yards on the night.
He's had a quietly impressive night here for the Vikings. Get a little substitution late in here for the Vikings. Looks like a new offensive lineman possibly. And Robillard will now bring in the play to the huddle. Under 5 minutes to go on the Embrace Orthodontics scoreboard. Vikings trail 56-20. Robillard under center, power T formation. Robillard takes the snap, and he'll give to Anderson again. Tries to break off one tackle, then bounce it out to the right side, and he is taken down. I don't think he picked up anything. He may have actually lost a yard. Well, they're going to say he actually gained 1. Wow.
Yeah, gets a couple, or gets just 1, huh?
With the tackle, I thought he had not even gotten to the 18, but did a good job of plowing forward for at least a split second, then being pushed back. So to the 19, it'll be second down and 9 for the Vikings of North Branch. Robillard takes the snap, and he'll pass. They're looking. They got a man over to the middle, and it's caught to the 40, to the 41, to the 42. It's Brody Beaver. You had 2 receivers out there. I lost track of the ball. I seen the one receiver, Joey Donahue, who is thankfully back into the game. I saw him stop. I was like, oh, he missed him. No, okay.
See, that's the thing. When you run the ball so well, it makes the defense creep up.
It does. 23-yard pass to Brody Beaver by Robillard. They'll have him keep it, and he's off to the races on the far sideline to the 35. He's pushed out inside that 35. Jacob Robillard on the carry. Gets to the 38, or 33, of Hutchinson. That's a big pickup there for Jacob Robillard, and like I said, who's to say that they don't come back and try and win this game?
Robillard with 115 yards on 14 carries.
Robillard back under center, and this time he'll keep it again off the left side of the line. Makes a defender. Oh, that was a defender. I thought that was one of his own players down, but wow, what a tackle there from a crouched position by that defender. Made quite the tackle, but gain of 2 there for Robillard. That previous run had him 25 yards. But the clock again working against the Vikings. 2:35 to go on that Embrace Orthodontics scoreboard. They'll do all the insurance heavy lifting for you. If you don't have insurance, ask about financing options. They'll find a plan to fit your budget. Robillard back under center, power T formation. And he'll give it off the left side of the line. I can't quite see the runner, but he gets to the 25. That is number 23, and that is Landon Ullman.
And when you look at the total yards here tonight, 377 to 302, it's, yes, Hutchinson is doing better, but it really doesn't tell the story of a 36-point game.
Yeah, it really doesn't. And unfortunately, it's turnovers will be a big talking point as well. And do we add a timeout possibly? Oh, no, we got a North Branch player down. Oh, my goodness. That's especially not what you want to see this late in the game, especially when the game is nearly over. We'll take a quick timeout. Hopefully the North Branch player is all right.
Arrowhead Transit plays a pivotal role in bolstering the communities it serves. By providing accessible and reliable transportation, they ensure essential travel for work, education, and healthcare. Arrowhead Transit is customer-centric, continuously evolving to meet the needs of the community with initiatives like community outreach programs, job fairs, and educational workshops and more. Arrowhead Transit is more than just a transportation service. It is a vital part of the communities it supports. Your connection, your community. Arrowhead Transit. Your ride.
Kettle River Pizza is a proud supporter of sports teams and community organizations. Local groups and teams across the state have had amazing success with Kettle River Pizza fundraising. From sausage and pepperoni to chicken Alfredo or the hot Hawaiian, the cheesy deliciousness practically sells itself. Visit KettleRiverPizza.com to schedule your next fundraiser. It's so easy to get started. Got a pizza craving now? Pick up a Kettle River Pizza at your local grocery store or convenience store today.
There has never been a better time to sell your home. Get a fast cash offer today and have your money in as little as 7 days. Any house, any condition. They will make you an offer the same day and pay you in as little as 7 days. City lots, lake lots, land, does not matter. They want to buy it. If you are ready to sell your home, let Haley Newman with Keller Williams Premier Realty give you a fast cash offer or help get you into the home of your dreams today. Contact her at 320-469-6868.
Don't want to speculate. I do believe it was Matthew Fenton, number 50, the injured North Branch Viking, who went down. He's being helped off the field, and you never want to see an injury, period. Simply put, period. Hopefully he's okay, and unfortunately probably won't be able to make it back into this game. And for Fenton, you just hope he's able to make it back next year if it is Fenton. I can't quite see if it's 5-0 or 5-something, but we wish Fenton nothing but the best. Power T formation here for the Vikings. Robillard's going to take the snap. Oh, he was hit as he threw. He was hit hard. It's up for grabs, and did he come down with that? Oh, my goodness. I can't quite see.
Beaver with the reception at the
Brody
3-yard
Beaver.
line.
What a catch there by Brody Beaver.
They love that seam play.
They really do. That's another 22 yards for Brody Beaver. Vikings will get up to the line and go quickly.
Robillard 4 for 5 on the night, 93 yards.
Does
and
have
2
that
touchdowns.
Pick, but 2 touchdowns. Wow. So power T formation. We lost the video board. Robillard under center, power T formation. He will hand it off the left side, and he is... No, my goodness. Oh, he is! He is going to be in. Apparently the ball came out late. I apologize, ladies and gentlemen. They do say touchdown. Brody Beaver, I thought that was him. I thought that was number 11. Carried it in from 3 yards out for the touchdown. You talk about a team just having heart and not willing to give up and continuing to play right here.
There's a lot still left to play for.
Absolutely. I mean, Brody Beaver, who is a senior for this team, won't be back next year. I mean, what a night for him to be able to finish off his high school career. He has 2 catches for 55 yards and then a rushing touchdown to end the night. And then the two-point conversion is good for 2.
9 play, 92 yards.
Wow. Joey Donahue, by the way, worked back into the game, caught that 2-point conversion. Inside the Roddy Motors red zone, they scored from Roddy Motors in Mora, RODDYMotors.com. SUVs, pickups, sedans, maybe even a camper. Talk to Joe at Roddy Motors in Mora and see what he's got on the lock now. Of course, Joe Rademacher of Roddy Motors is a United States Marine. So if you're a veteran looking for a new vehicle, go talk to a fellow vet and get squared away. Stay tuned for the postgame show here on Nice 95.5 FM KBEK. We'll have that ready as soon as the clock ticks to 0, and then after that they will have the Edina Eden Prairie matchup here after this one. So unfortunately, though, for North Branch, this will be the end of the season. 58 seconds left. I'm not saying they can't score 28 points. It's a little unheard of, but let's see if they can't recover the onside kick first. So now the clock does stop when you go out of bounds and everything because you get back under that 35-point threshold. North Branch does have all 3 timeouts. Why not? Let's do it. 28-point comeback. I see it right now.
Let's keep the season going.
Let's do it. So obviously North Branch will get their onside kick team ready. Brody Beaver will look for his best onside kick yet. North Branch will be looking to sprint as fast as they can, the fastest they've ever. And here's the boot. It is onside-ed. It's got the bounce. Oh, but a little too far. It got that big second bounce you're hoping for. It just was a little too far. It went about 14 yards down the field instead of the 10. Yeah, the Hutchinson Tigers have it at, looks like the 46. So, yeah, it went about 14 yards instead of the 10. So, they got the kick they needed.
Yep.
But it just went one bounce too far. So, we'll probably see 1 or 2 kneel down. Looks like 2 kneel downs from Hutchinson, and then that will be it for North Branch's season. But what a fun season it was. And before it ends, let's focus on this play here. Well, they're lining up in the I formation. I can't imagine they'll run a play, really. Oh, my goodness, they're going to. Well, this is a little insult to injury. Thody with the carry.
It's about a 5-yard gain.
And I understand trying to get Thody his yards, but first of all, you're going on to the championship game. North Branch season is over. You don't need to rub salt in the wound, and this is that feels like what Hutchinson is doing right now. Yeah, I'm not talking bad about Hutchinson. Just you don't need to run a play here. That.
So maybe now they know that North Branch isn't going to call timeout.
Yeah, they're still not lined up in victory formation. Hopefully they just take a knee. No, they're not going to. Really don't need to be running plays here if you're Hutchinson. This is a little bit egregious if you're Hutchinson. He gained 6, but I mean, what does it prove? That was really unneeded by Hutchinson. They didn't really need to run those two kneel downs would have ended the game. North Branch more than likely wasn't going to call a timeout. I don't know if you need to do that if you're Hutchinson. I mean, that seems a little bit too much. But either way, that will end it here inside U.S. Bank Stadium. The North Branch Vikings do fall to Hutchinson 56-28, but what a season it was for the Vikings of North Branch. A huge shout out to the North Branch Vikings. It was an incredible season. It's not every year you're able to get to the state tournament, let alone get to the state semifinals and get to play at U.S. Bank Stadium. It is not every year that you get to do that, let alone it's even rarer that you get to come back the next year and do it. So for North Branch, incredible season. Congratulations on the season they had.
North Branch taking it one step further than they did last year.
Absolutely, they really did. And I think a lot of people thought, well, this year might be not as good as last year. Well, I beg to differ. I mean, I don't think last year was bad by any means because you lose the opening game of state. But, I mean, this year's team got to the state semifinals, so these seniors, at least, I'm sure they're friends with last year's seniors, will get to hold that over their head a little bit, and they'll be saying, well, yeah, but my team made it to the state semifinal, got to play at US Bank Stadium, so there you go. So the North Branch Vikings do fall here to Hutchinson, 56-28. We'll take a commercial break, recap the game, let you know what's coming up for our winter sports maybe, and talk about that a little bit, but we'll also recap this game, talk about the seniors here for North Branch as well. You're listening to state football from U.S. Bank Stadium here on Nice 95.5 KBEK.
A&W Restaurant Pine City is still making fresh root beer, that signature item since 1919. It's still made fresh and on-site with real cane sugar and a blend of secret ingredients. It doesn't get any better than this. Their world-renowned A&W root beer is a classic treat, and they can top it off with creamy vanilla soft serve to be known as the famous A&W root beer float. Now that's smooth, tasty, and refreshing. An American iconic A&W root beer float. It never tasted so good. A&W Restaurant Pine City. Come grab your root beer float today.
Hey, hey, hey!
Take KBEK wherever you go. Download the new mobile app. It's free, and it's a game changer.
Automatic first down.
Joe and the gang at Roddy Motors say, "Go Mustangs!" Well, of course, he's got 2 boys on the varsity squad. He's born and raised in Mustang country, voted Reader's Choice Best Dealer in Kanabec County 2 years in a row. That's what you call a repeat champ. And he offers vehicles of all makes and models, can get you financed on site, and put you and your new vehicle before the Mustangs take on next week's opponent. When you need a quality new vehicle, make your way to Roddy Motors in Mora, or visit roddymotors.com.
'Tis the season to share the joy of Wisconsin cheese. At Burnett Dairy Cooperative, they understand the importance of great cheese and take pride in their gift boxes. Burnett Dairy can customize gift boxes and include a nice note, and they can be shipped throughout all states except Hawaii. Who doesn't love cheese? This is the perfect gift for anyone. Order your cheese gift boxes online at shop.burnettdairy.com or give them a call 715-689-2748 for custom orders, and they can be shipped or picked up at the store.
Embrace Orthodontics offers a unique specialized approach to orthodontic treatment with custom braces or Invisalign. The team at Embrace loves getting to know their patients personally and takes the time to make sure all your questions are answered. Their board-certified orthodontists use only the latest in modern technology to give you the best outcome possible. They work with your insurance company and offer flexible financing options to fit your budget. Call today to set up your free exam and see how Embrace Orthodontics can transform your smile. More online at embracemn.com. That's embracemn.com.
Wellia Health is here to keep you feeling your best so you can enjoy all the things you love best. You can count on us for your eye exams, mental health services, rehabilitation, wellness exams, urgent care, and much more. At Wellia Health, our goal is to help you live life well. Let Wellia Health help you get back to your best. Give us a call today to set up an appointment. 320-679-1313. WelliaHealth.org.
Your journey to smile with your forever starts at Embrace Orthodontics. The team at Embrace is committed to providing world-class care and a remarkable orthodontic experience. Choose between custom Light Force braces or Invisalign clear aligners with locations in Pine City, Lindstrom, and Cambridge, and a plan to fit your budget, whether you have insurance or not. Embrace Orthodontics will make your smile journey comfortable, convenient, and customized just for you. Visit EmbraceMN.com today to find out how to set up your free exam. EmbraceMN.com. Embrace Orthodontics, a smile you will embrace forever.
Joe Keyport here, the news director for Q Media Group. Did you miss an interview of something local that was happening? Did you miss a conversation on the morning show? Make sure to check it out on the on-demand page at kbek.com and get the information you may have missed.
Back here on 95.5 FM KBEK, your North Branch Vikings fall to the Hutchinson Tigers here in this state semifinal game, 56-28. They will get a semifinalist trophy, though. And in this one, talking about it, really, the biggest thing, I think, was the turnovers.
It was. It really turned the game there in that second half.
And looking at those turnovers, it's not just the turnovers, but it's the fact that Hutchinson scored off of the turnovers. They scored over 20 points. They scored on 3 turnovers that North Branch gave them. They scored on all 3 of them. And you got to think, even if they don't score those 2-point conversions, but they did. So 24 points out of 56, that really changes this game. You take 24 points away, that makes it a 32-28 game. And we kind of talked about it in between breaks. I kind of said, I think North Branch scores on each of those drives if they don't turn it over. I think we're looking at a completely different game.
They were moving the ball relatively well. Mm-hmm. They were outgained by about 90 yards. But I mean, if you don't turn the ball over, your drives continue, and you might make up that yardage. But, you can't take away the turnovers. They were there. They were a big focal point of this game, and Hutchinson was able to take advantage of it, score with it. They were able to score on every possession that they had. North Branch didn't have an answer defensively.
Yeah, unfortunately they didn't, and we talked about it throughout this game. One stop. One stop is what it felt like they needed, and unfortunately they just didn't get that stop that they really needed. And but if you felt like if they were able to get that stop, that would have gotten into the head of Hutchinson. Their confidence would have been shot at least a little bit. To get into the mind of an opponent, even ever so slightly, that changes things drastically, and it could lean in your favor.
Well, it was the first possession of each team there in that second half. If North Branch didn't turn the ball over, if they were able to go down the field and score, and then if they were able to keep Hutchinson from scoring, that would have been big. It would have been 32-20, 32-22, and it would be a much different ball game.
It really would. And looking at the stats for this game, 42 carries, 240 yards from North Branch, 4 for 5 passing, 93 yards, 2 touchdowns through the air. They also scored 2 on the ground for 330 yards total. It was really Jacob Robillard who really kind of took over. 15 carries, 117 yards. Of course, he had the 4 for 5, 93 yards passing, 2 touchdowns through the air, and the 1 pick. Right behind him was Austin Anderson, 11 for 68. Then it was Carter Drill, 6 for 32. 5 for 17, Jacob Teigen. 3 for 4 from Minke. We didn't really see him here in the second half, unfortunately. Ullman had a carry, 1 for 5, and Brody Beaver had the 3-yard rushing touchdown, 1 for 3 for him. They had 9 total possessions in the game, 4 total penalties, and 3 turnovers. For the Hutchinson Tigers, 46 carries, 326 yards, 1 for 1 passing, 64 yards. That's 390 yards total for them here tonight. And again, they scored all except for 1 on the ground here this evening. So for North Branch, it's not the ending to the season they would have liked or have hoped for. But as we mentioned before, you can't. It's something to say for a team making it to state in back-to-back years. That's one thing.
Right, and they were one of the last 4 teams in their class, and that's nothing to shake a stick at.
No, it is not, and they played hard against this Hutchinson team. And another thing that I want to mention, they did not give up. They could have easily laid down and said, you know what, this game's over. Why bother? They did not. They came in. They fought till the very end. We seen them. They scored with under a minute left, and they looked like if they had gotten the ball back, they were going to try and do it again. There's something to be said about that. So huge shout out to those guys. They just did not give up, and they continued to fight to the very end. I just want to take a moment to talk about all the seniors, or mention them at least for the North Branch Vikings, starting with Magnus Toussaint, Brody Beaver, who is one of them. Owen Link, who had a pretty big interception in their game against Hermantown, or not Hermantown, but Benilde St. Margaret. Then you've got Levante Fisher, another one of those seniors, Landon Ullman, and then we've got Austin Anderson, one of the running backs. Then we go to Joey Donahue, Jacob Teigen, Jared McWilliams, not Matthew Fenton, but Jared McWilliams, and then you go down to Ty Ellsworth, Tyler Hendricks, Melissa Imamovich, one of the two, Logan Grundhauser, Gavin Goltel, Micah Ragsdale, along with Benedict Rossini, Aiden Olson, Jaden Roski, and finally Everett Thompson. Those are your seniors here for North Branch. So big shout out to the North Branch seniors. We wish you nothing but the best of luck in your future. So it looks like North Branch is going to bring back a pretty good squad next year.
Yeah, they have a lot of their offensive weapons coming back, including their quarterback Robillard, who was a big factor here today, keeping North Branch in it, gaining 112 yards on the ground and then going 4 for 5 through the air.
Yeah.
For 93 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a pick. Not a bad game for Robillard.
No, over 200 yards himself total through the air and on the ground, and he'll be back next year. That'll be big, because then they also bring back Carter Drill and Tyler Minke, who were their leading rushers throughout the regular season, plus Robillard and Ullman. I mean, that's a good group to bring back for this offensive squad, and you bring back a lot of your offensive linemen as well.
Yep, and that's almost bigger. because if you have a good offensive line, it can hide some problems that you have offensively.
It really can. So this team, we might be back here next year with this team. I mean, let's well, we'll hold our breath for that one. We'll wait and see. But a huge shout out and congratulations to the North Branch Vikings. One of the last 4 teams here in Class 4A. They will get a semifinalist trophy. Congratulations there to the North Branch Vikings and head coach Justin Voss and all the seniors for making it not only back to the state tournament, but to the state semifinal game. An incredible season here for the North Branch Vikings. We wish them the best of luck on their future endeavors and in winter sports. Speaking of winter sports, we got those coming up here, in about a couple of weeks here. I know, Adam, you're getting pretty excited about some basketball coming up here this year.
I am. I love basketball. That's my sport. I do like covering football and volleyball, baseball and softball, but basketball is my sport. That's the one I know most about, and it's so much fun. So winter will be fun.
It shall be. We've got a ton of teams that we cover games for. I mean, Bram is just one of them, North Branch. We've got Pine City, East Central, Hinckley, Finlayson, Rush City, Mille Lacs, Mora, just to name a few of the teams that we cover. So stay tuned. We will have some winter sports coming your way. Of course, next week is Thanksgiving, so really not much to talk about for next week, but after that, that's when things really get ramped up, and that's when we really start to get into our winter sports schedule. It kind of is in a lull, though, in between Thanksgiving and Christmas. There isn't a bunch that happens. There's a little bit, but there's not a bunch, and then after New Year's, that's when everything really starts to get going. So
it's our longest season.
Yeah, it really is. And in Minnesota too, because it lasts about 6-7 months. But apparently, you're supposed to get a warm winter, which I will not complain.
Allegedly.
Yeah, we'll see how that turns out. But in this one, the North Branch Vikings fall to the Hutchinson Tigers, 56-28. Once again, huge shout out to the North Branch, their seniors, and their coaches on a fantastic season. I want to thank all of you for tuning in here tonight. Thanks so much for tuning in. We appreciate you tuning in tonight. Appreciate all the fine sponsors who sponsored this and every other broadcast here for the fall sports season. That does it, believe it or not, for the fall sports season here on KBEK, WCMP, and all of Q Media. We appreciate you tuning in. We appreciate you sticking with us throughout the entire fall sports season. Thank you so much for sponsoring, and thanks to all of you who tuned in for each and every game, tuned in to listen to my mouth babble, tuned in to me or Adam or Andy. Thank you so much for tuning in. We appreciate it. You tuning in gives us a job to do, so we appreciate that so much. Again, remember, stay tuned to our morning shows on Nice 95.5 FM with Rock and Robin Riley at 8:30 and 7:30, and then over on 100.9 FM with Joshua Muir on at 7:45 and 8:45. That's when you can catch your local sports updates. We'll talk about this game and all the other local games around our local listening area, as well as some regional and national sports as well. Of course, stay tuned to our Facebook pages, WCMP and KBK, as well as our websites, WCMPradio.com and KBK.com. Again, that's where we will keep you up to date with local sports as well. Also, stay tuned to this YouTube if you're watching, or, well, listening rather, to this game on our YouTube, on this YouTube. Be sure to go and like and subscribe. When you're subscribed, you'll get that notification anytime we go live with a local sporting event. All you have to do is click on that notification. It'll take you right to the video or audio like it is here for the state tournament. Again, I thank you all for tuning in. Thanks to all the fine sponsors. Thanks to Adam Hefty, who joined me here this evening. Adam,
thank you to Ethan. Ethan's thanking everybody. Nobody's thanking Ethan. Thank you, Ethan, for everything that you do, for setting up the fall schedule, getting us to all these games, sending yourself to all these games, covering all of our local squads. So thank you, Ethan.
I appreciate that, and I appreciate you joining me here tonight. It makes the broadcast a lot better, in my opinion, when you got two people going at it and talking about it. And not only that, I got to experience this with someone. It's so great to experience this. I also didn't get lost by myself, so I appreciate you joining me, and I look forward to you calling some games for us here this winter.
Absolutely. It should be fun.
It will be. So again, stay tuned to the morning shows and everything else for all your local sports. Thank you for tuning in. Remember to be kind to everyone. You never know what anyone is going through, and your kindness could truly make their day, especially in today's day and age. You just never know the battle people are going with inside of themselves. So be sure just to be kind to everyone. It costs nothing to be kind. The final here from U.S. Bank Stadium, the Vikings fall to the Hutchinson Tigers, 56-28. For Nice 95.5 FM, I'm Ethan Game Day Gilman for Adam Hefty. Thanks so much for tuning in, and have a great rest of your night and a fantastic weekend.